weirdest thing happened to me. I tried to load stream, and for some reason, OBS was like, yeah, Twitch doesn't exist. And I'm like, did Twitch get fucking deleted? Like, what do you mean Twitch doesn't exist? Like, I was so confused for a second. I'm like, yeah, Twitch is just like, bye. Yeah, the most, I think, OBSing moment I've ever had. Yeah, it was like the output to Twitch does not exist. Yeah, it's just like, it was just gone. I'm like, well, okay then, I guess I didn't want to stream today. Like, Twitch was lagging bad last night. Oh, was it actually? Okay, hey, maybe that explains a little bit of what was going on, but good morning, guys. Hope you're doing amazing. Happy Friday. You made it to the end of the week, guys. You did it. I'm so proud of y'all. Congrats. You're almost there to the weekend. And then once you get to the weekend, guys, you can work some more. Yippee. Nah, I remember how that was. I used to work weekends as well. I really like the OBS crashing if you just ignore the part of the work still. Oh, look, I gotta be honest. I've had it happen at least probably a handful of times in my career, and I do the exact same thing. I just never, ever touch it. I'm just like, don't touch it. It'll be fine. And sure enough, it actually works. I didn't get my remember one time. That happened to me, actually. I'm sure you probably do, but it's definitely happened to me. I'm an Ilaria at Subathon day 600. Well, she's seen Barbie Girl. I'll tell you what, when I hit Subathon day 600, I will end the Subathon. How about that? Congratulations. You played yourself. Nah, we're getting close, actually. Holy shit, wait. How many days is that? Can you math? 63 more days? Wow. We're definitely on the track, that's for sure. Good morning, Alara. I just got home from the emergency room after I've been diagnosed with gallstones. Oh, no, what? What is that? Yeah, what are gallstones? I don't know what that is. I'm so sorry. I hope you feel better, though. Yeah, that's awful. There's a video that went viral about someone analyzing his run to find it was fake. Mark recently streamed into a challenge. Yeah, so this isn't like Markiplier, like, I don't know, like cheating as in like cheating, cheating is in like, you know, like cheating with somebody, right? This is like cheating in a video game, which I think is, well, a lot funnier actually. But it's kind of like a big nothing burger, but it became like something that's been kind of a meme. It's been like multiple years in the making, so I think it's really funny that now we're getting to a point where people are like, wait a second, Markiplier cheated? Like, it's really funny, and this only became an issue because Markiplier actually decided to recently restream Fnaf 2, so we're gonna talk about it. Yeah, it's basically a nothing burger. In all honesty, Kage, everybody's kept it really fun this entire time. Are you serious, guys? Oh, you ever heard of Technolarp? I'm gonna tell you all about it, but I gotta die first. Yeah, sorry guys, I had to die first. My father had to have surgery to remove his gallstones from it. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Does that mean I dodged the explosion? Like, does that mean I dodged the explosion? I can't believe Markiplier would cheat on Freddy Fazbear. Okay, look, Evan, I promise that he did not cheat on Freddy Fazbear. Just cheek in the kitchen, all right? But yes, we are going to talk about it because, well, it's kind of funny. And like I said, it's a big meme in the making right now. And it's really funny, so we're gonna talk about it because I think, well, that's kind of fun, right? But first up, how are you guys? What's up, everybody? How's life been treating you? I gotta tell you, yesterday after I finished stream, I've been so busy because I'm in this stage right now of prepping for so much stuff. Like, I'm trying to kind of prep for a little bit of my vacation stuff ahead of time. I'm also getting ready for my new model. Yippee! Yippee! New model, actually new modules. I've been prepping for my new modules. Yeah, so just a lot of stuff going on. I've been very, very busy working on that stuff. But how are y'all? What's up with y'all, guys? My name cat woke me up shortly after my alarm. Oh, no. Bro, our cat will do that sometimes. She'll just, like, meow outside of our door. We're like, Oh my god, dude, we're trying to fucking sleep and she's like, meow, 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 meow. Models, plural, poggies. I know, I got some mixed surprises for y'all. Y'all just sweet. Person coming and going, thinking about what job to look for, a high-paying job since the economy isn't the best right now. I know, it's been rough out there. So guys, I definitely feel for y'all right now. Please take care of yourselves. First and foremost, that's what's most important to me, all right? Wicca, thank you so much for the resubscription, as well as Fat Man, thank you as well. Sorry, I missed that. I think that's why I was starting up. Yes, Lara Boo Boo is coming as well. That is included in my my statement on multiple models. So, how to be civil when I'm not even a civilian? Next question. This is so cute, bro. I love this one. I can't believe the Markiplier cheated on me with Chica. Already 5 pair. We're having a weird out of season jellyfish bloom right now. Wait, jellyfish bloomed. Are you talking about like a bunch of jellyfish like spawn, or like there's a bunch of jellyfish birthing, or like are you getting jellyfish jelly? Like, what are we talking about? Do you think the Markiplier actually cheated? I think that either he cheated or it was like an editing error. I'm kind of leaning more towards it being an editing error, but I don't know, we'll talk about it. I mean, I'm not gonna go through the full. Literally, that's our cat. He just sits there and fucking meows at us all fucking night, dude. This is literally our cat. Did these accusers have proof? Absolutely, Volcano Lord. The only reason I'm bringing this up because I saw this video a long time ago, right? Yeah, I think it came out about, well, maybe 8 months ago. Yeah, I think it came out about 8 months ago, right? And so, I wanted to discuss this particular video. Do y'all hear this popping? I feel like I keep hearing a popping. Are y'all hearing that too? All right, turn off the music for a second because I feel like I keep hearing some kind of popping in my ear. But anyway, there was a video that came out. I didn't talk about it for a really, really long time. Because I just thought it was funny, right? And ultimately, it actually turned out to be, well, kind of true, right? And it really became like a meme. And ultimately now, yeah, maybe so. Hold on. Ultimately, the video kind of blew up, right? It got millions of views. So people talked about this quite a lot, right? They were talking about, oh, you know, this video blew up. Markiplier kind of got wind of it, and he ultimately did decide to address it, which I thought was really funny. And that's a big reason why he's replaying through Fnaf right now. So we'll take a look at it, guys. Again, I think it's really, really kind of more of a funny than it is like a serious thing. And I like covering news like that, right? So something that's kind of like feel good, and it's just funny. It's not actually like that serious. Kind of reminds me of like Moist Critical stuff, right? I can't believe how many resets you got hit with yesterday. Yeah, I think ultimately, how many resets have we had the entirety of? How many resets have we had the entirety of doing getting over it? I mean, we've had so many. All right, yeah, like it's literally a nothing burger, right? It's actually like a nothing burger, but it's kind of funny because I never expected him to actually like address it. You know what I mean? Like that's the funny part about all of it. I'm gonna unplug my microphone and replug it and see if that causes it to stop because I'm getting popped. I don't know why. Hold on a second, guys. There was a sound update for drivers yesterday. So I'm wondering if maybe I just needed to replug. Oh my god, that's so much better. I'm wondering if I just needed to unplug and replug my my audio interface. I think I fixed it ultimately. I think it was just in my headphones. What was Technolarp anyway? Okay, so are you familiar with Technoblade? Yeah, there was like a bunch of, oh my god, that's so much better. It's finally fucking gone. Yes! It was only in my ear. Yeah, I think so. I was seeing that for some reason my audio interface was having issues. And Windows did like an update, and then I heard that it was gonna fix it. So I'm like, oh, I'm really excited. So I updated it. But then I didn't ever unplug my audio interface. So I'm like, yeah, let me just unplug it and replug it. And it looks like it's good. Who or what is Technoblade? All right, so we're gonna have to talk about Technoblade a bit before we talk about this entire kind of drama that happened, right? I mean, if you don't know Technoblade, he passed away back in 2022. I was a very, very famous Minecraft streamer, right? Or Minecraft creator, I should say. Very, very big deal, guys. Ultimately, with Technoblade. Did any of y'all see the Minecraft movie? Anybody see that movie? Type 1 if you saw it. Yes, like he's still very well regarded, considered a legend. I'm sure a lot of you actually saw the Minecraft movie, right? There was a pig that walked by, right, that had a crown. And the characters asked, oh, who is that? And Jack Black's like, oh, that guy's a legend. That is actually a Technoblade reference. Sadly passed away, but he's considered one of the most renowned people in the Minecraft community. He's a very, 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 very big deal, guys. Yeah, considered an absolute legend. So what we're gonna talk about? Yeah, he had a cameo in the movie. Yeah, he did. It was really, really cool. I'm doing good, Ozzy. How are you? I was kind of getting frustrated with my audio interface, but I think I fixed it up. But basically, he is considered a really, really big deal. Ultimately, somebody went on to essentially LARP is him. They named themselves Technolarp. They were kind of, in a way, trying to pick up where Technoblade left off, right? They weren't exactly trying to be like Technoblade, but in a lot of ways, they were being very similar to him. They did collabs with certain people, right? Very, very much considered in poor taste. Collabing with some of Technoblade's former friends. Very, very weird, right? Now, the big thing was about all this, guys. Initially, everybody was okay with it because he was raising money for charity, guys. That was the big deal. He was raising money for charity. So nobody really batted a big eye at it because, oh, yeah, he's doing something good. Well, turns out that wasn't entirely the case, Chad. So he did reach out to Technoblade's dad, Technodad. And there's a huge follow-up with all this stuff. So we're going to talk about it. He actually went into Moist Critical's live stream, started talking to him. It became this whole fucking drama. Just because he decided to ultimately, I would say, ignore Technodad initially. So basically, like, Technodad had stated that he was uncomfortable with him LARPing as his dead son. And basically, Technolarp decided to be like, well, he didn't say no, so that's enough permission. And obviously, that's kind of problematic. So we'll talk about the whole thing. But I definitely think that LARPing as a deceased person, for me, I know that you wanted to do it in the spirit, and I can understand that you want a banana, but I don't know, it's just weird. In my opinion, it's weird. Right, and a lot of people share that same sentiment, Misu. I'm kind of the exact same way. You know, you didn't say no, so that's enough permission. Nah, dude, I mean, again, you're LARPing as somebody's dead son. Technodad is very involved. Yeah, it's kind of a whole thing in the Minecraft community. So anyway, we will discuss it. We'll talk about it, guys. Yo, what's up, Soy Sauce? How are you? Oh my god, a banana actually sounds pretty good. I had an apple cinnamon oatmeal this morning. I think it's my favorite flavor, though. I really, really love the apple flavor. Hello, Lara. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty good, Kiri. I had to reset my audio interface, but we're good now. How are you? Good. I like your YouTube content. Thank you so much. What YouTube content do you like? My reacts? LARPing or not, it feels like it should have been obvious connotation and sensitivity. Why it's not a good idea to do that. especially if it's sun. I agree with that 1000%. Man, I want banana cream pie. That sounds so good. Oh, you watch my reactions. Thank you so much, Soy Sauce. I really hope that you've been enjoying them so much. It really actually surprised me. I kind of started that channel on a whim, and it's blown up. So thank you so much. Actually, guys, I do want to take a moment and say thank you all so much, because today, actually, I checked this morning, as I always do my YouTube stuff, and we hit 40,000 subscribers. So thank you, guys. Sincerely, thank you so much. 40,000 subscribers, guys. That is insane. Thank you for all your support. Sincerely. Yeah, 40,000. Wow. Hey, what's up, Ashton? How are you? Yeah, absolutely wild. So again, thank you all so much. I really appreciate all y'all. And on our way to 100,000, guys, we're gonna do it. Especially after figuring out all of this bullshit that's been going on with YouTube now. Oh, bro, we got the algorithm. I made the algorithm my fucking bitch. I got this shit now. I finally figured out YouTube's bullshit, dude. So we are on it. I'm excited to release for you guys lots and lots of videos coming up. Very excited. No. Yeah, look, I'm telling you, I literally had to like change all of my upload schedule, draw back on stuff. There was so many things I had to stop on because for some fucking reason, I don't know why, YouTube changed your algorithm. Very suddenly, too. I don't know why Technolarp isn't able to comprehend it's a bit disrespectful to LARP as a person, right? And Nate, initially, it was kind of like a feel-good because he was raising money for charity, but that's not entirely the exact truth here. So, like I said, we're going to talk about it. We're going to dive into it. Thank you so much, Soy Sauce. You're very sweet. Yeah, I think it's a very interesting situation overall. But of course, I do want to also talk about a little bit of gaming news. People, of course, pushing back on Sony, even still, about their dismissal. I guess I should say dismissal. Is that a right word? Dismissal of physical CDs. Of course, a lot of people are pissed off about that. We talked about that last week. Either Charlie Critical got into stupid little drama. Are you talking about the AI one? You're talking about the one where he stated his opinion on AI. Ozzy, thank you so much for the gifted sub, dude. I appreciate you. Yeah, that's the one you're talking about, right? I wouldn't even say it was like drama. I think it was just people like just being anti like they always are. Like, if Charlie states his opinion and actually like knows what he's talking about, people just like blah 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 blah. Conspiracy theory on data centers. So like, I actually watched that video, Kiri. And he was talking about how data centers are harmful to the environment, right? Which is absolutely true. And I find it funny because people are like, oh, well, where's the proof on that? And it's like, well, actually, there's a lot of proof of that. Like, I've actually shown that. Specifically one clip where there is a, I don't think she's a senator, but she works for a certain state government, right? And she pulls out like water before and after of what data centers have done to the river that was local to where that data center was. So I don't really call that drama. I just call that people bitching and moaning about his opinion that is right. You know what I mean? Like, his opinion is correct. Like, I mean, there's plenty of proof behind it, right? I did see a lot of people like, oh, well, there's no proof. But like, yeah, there's actually lots of proof. Yeah, they are harmful to the environment, which, I mean, this is just to see some people be like, oh, well, Charlie relies on data centers to, you know, make his content. It's like, well, yes, but also, like, no, like, I don't know. I don't think that we needed to have the huge excess of data centers that are specifically made to generate more AI, generative AI-driven stuff. Like, yes, data centers are important, but also at the same time, like, you know, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Data centers are important, right, to a point, but, like, there's also, like, we don't need as many as we have. We can protect the environment in a lot of ways. It's the same as global warming isn't real, worse proof. Also, my favorite argument that I've been seeing lately, I talked to A about this, but you guys don't know about it because I only talked about it with A. I found it really funny because I saw, like you guys know the whole leaflet drama we talked about? I think it was back on Sunday, right? we're talking about Leaflet, where basically a lot of people are upset about Leaflet creating this new generative AI tool, which obviously I don't think you should be attacking, going after Leaflet. I just think that, you know, Leaflet's whole tool is a little bit misguided, right? I feel like you could create a tool that's useful that is also ethical as well, right? But regardless of that, right? I found it really funny because a lot of people are like, oh, well, the environment has already been fucked up, so you can't blame it on data centers. And it's like, so if a forest is burning down, we should add gasoline to it? Like, that was my favorite argument that I kept seeing. They're like, well, the environment's already fucked up, so it doesn't matter. It's like, no, it definitely matters. What are you talking about? We have way more data centers than any other development nation has gone to bar. Yeah, it's like, yes, guys, let's just keep making the environment worse because, you know, that's okay. Yeah, we have a duty to preserve our environment. Exactly. I don't know, dude. Absolutely wild arguments I see sometimes. And, like, I understand that there are arguments for Gen AI, and I understand that Gen AI is here to stay, but also it can be done ethically, right? And I think that when the core DNA of your product, generative AI, is stealing from other people, right? It's scraping data, or it's taking scraped data to create its foundation, right? Its DNA. I think that ethically, at its core, is wrong. And I don't really know how people want to argue against that, right? Like, you want to say, oh, well, you know, I'm not responsible for that, right? Well, you know, if somebody stole Pokemon cards and wanted to sell them to you, ethically, would you buy them? Of course not, right? Like, of course you're not going to buy them because you know they were stolen, right? And it's the ethic behind it. I'm going to be playing that off stream, by the way, Lacey. Yeah, I'm going to be playing that off stream only. Or we know it, basic necessities like water and oxygen. Going to be logged behind a paywall. Yeah, it feels that way. Let me log my microphone really quick. I don't want to move. It definitely matters what I did here. An argument that even if we fix things, it may be too late to save the Earth. Only path left is by adapting to changes. Unfortunately, only the ones with the strongest will we have higher chance to survive, but that's just my opinion, what I've heard. I mean, regardless, like, that's kind of a separate argument from Gen AI, right? Like, that's just talking about the state of our environment as a whole, which, by the way, is fuck. But like the JonTron ones, thank you. Unfortunately, Georgia Power is supporting people in the Atlanta area, in Coweta, in Fayette to, what's that, that's right. Coweta and Fayette to sell their home stuff. Oh, you talking about what Charlie was talking about? I didn't realize that was in Georgia. People are responsible in part for the theft. To change Gen AI, since they wouldn't do it, people didn't use it right. Absolutely. So, I mean, I do understand some of the arguments, but also, like, there's an ethical dilemma at its core. The base foundation of generative AI is stealing from other people and artists, right? My other favorite argument I saw was, this was when I was talking about with somebody was arguing that, oh, well, other artists tried to emulate other people's style, so it's not stolen by using generative AI. And I'm like, what? Like, because other artists emulated other people's styles in the past, it's not stealing because they emulated other art styles. I'm like, you do realize that even if you emulated something pretty much perfectly, it would still never be exactly the same. Like, what does it mean? Cheating allegations against my daddy, Mark. I know, Sound Blaster. I'm gonna talk about it. I promise, dude. I'm gonna dive into it. It's a very interesting story. A human is still using their own skills to attempt to imitate. Exactly, right? I found some of these arguments very, very interesting, right? Tracing isn't stealing, right? It's very, very odd arguments I see sometimes, which, I mean, I'm sure there are some good arguments. I haven't really heard them, I'm going to be honest, because I do always try to open up my mind to new perspectives and new ideas, right? So, and I like learning because that way it helps me argue better against it, you know? Tracing and claiming it is your own is in fact plagiarism, exactly. Yeah, Gen AI is plagiarism, and I think that's the main argument, but again, just to restate while we're talking about it, I don't want anybody to attack Leaflet. That's not my intention about rehashing this. I just think that while the tool is meant for accessibility, which I do applaud, I think there's a more ethical way to do it, right? And there's so many awesome tools out there already. They have a free VTuber model or a low cost one. I think there's a lot of ways around it. Now, I do think there is more of a conversation that's got to go behind some of this stuff. But ultimately, chat, AI is here to stay, and I think that sadly there will be a point one day where we'll never be able to tell the difference, you know? Yeah, Vroid still exists, yeah. Absolutely, Vroid is completely free. Yeah, you could definitely use that. There's so many other options, I agree with you. Tagging will only shine a larger light on her. That's just choose what they want. I think for me also, Nova, like when I think about this kind of stuff, right? Like, at the end of the day, it's a free market. People are allowed to make whatever choices they want, right? I think the best thing to do is educate people on why this might be a problem, why it might be, you know, a bit of a ethical issue, right? And then let people make their own decision. Do I think people will make the right decision? Typically, no, because I think people are, in general, don't really care, and that's really sad, right? But for the percentage of us that do care, I think that we should educate ourselves on that and then make a decision based off being properly educated, because if you don't properly educate yourself, how can you make any decision correctly, right? I think AI can be used as an important tool, but Gen AI just steals art. Yeah. Looks to me like artists will need to up their game. I mean, like, I don't know about all that, because I really value artists heavily, especially as, you know, a VTuber, right? I think artists are incredibly important to our environment. And also, I just value their skill set. I think what they do is incredible. That's something I could do. You know what I mean? So, I do want to throw this out there really quick, guys, before we get started today. Tomorrow, guys, we do have Tea Time Yippee Chat. And here are all the beautiful faces that are going to be joining us tomorrow. I think we have 37 VTubers. Like, yeah, it's a lot of people. So, I will see you all tomorrow, starting at 10 o'clock, all the way till about 4 o'clock as well. Maybe some people you know, maybe some people you don't know. But I really hope I'll see you there, guys. It's going to be awesome. I'm very, very pumped. Yeah, so many cuties. We got the boys as well. Yeah, it's not just, you know, ladies. Also, I ladies nuts on your face. We also got the guys as well. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess I deserve that. That's him. Yo, what's up, Bolts? How are you? Yeah, I guess I deserve that. Cup size connoisseur, thank you for following. He says, holy shit, yes, I want to let you know my cup size. Yes, my cup size is 2/3 of a cup, because I made oatmeal earlier today. Thank you for coming. Have a good day. To me, looks devoid of any passion. I mean, like, I just hate how it looks. I'm gonna be honest, I think the quality of it is extremely low. That is foul. Well, I mean, he's a cup connoisseur. He just wanted to know. Looks more like an H to me. Wow, he's actually right. Holy shit. I guess he really is a connoisseur. Yeah, the model is actually an H. Yeah. No, it's actually an H. At least by what Papa Nez said. Cup size is not your business. That's he knows his shit, bro. He knows his shit. According to Papa Nez, it's indeed an H. Yeah, that's what he said. I mean, I can't fault him if he's right, guys, you know. Yeah, I can't fault him if he's right. Anyway, let's get into a little bit of VTuber news, guys. Here we go. Everybody, time news. Let's do it, guys. Oh, you think it's a Kono alt account? I believe that. Kono said that he's gonna be getting me I guess some fan art for like my birthday or something, and he asked me, how big am I allowed to make your boobs in the fan art? I was like, I don't think I've ever had one where I was like, that's too much. I mean, I guess there was like one that I was like, wow, that's like really, really big. And he was like, okay, bet. Oh my God. He was like, there's one A of that. I was like, yeah, that's a lot. You know what I mean? That's a lot. Hold on, let me see if I can find it really quick. Yeah, there was like one that I'm like, holy titty. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me find it really quick. Maybe I don't have it. No, wait, I swear I have it somewhere. I just have so much artwork. It's hard to, like, go through it, like, really quickly and, like, find it all. Hold on. Gonna turn our views just gonna be boobs in a tiny head. Yeah, it's gonna be like that, like, hyper boob shit. You know what I'm talking about? Well, I actually can't find it. Yeah, I guess I don't have it saved. That's so weird. I really thought I had that one saved. Yeah, I guess I'll have to go find it. Or maybe it's in here and I just can't, I just don't see it. I'm sorry, I have so much art, like, I swear, it's just hard to keep up with. Oh, here it is, I found it. It's this one. Yeah, I'm like, dude, that's too much boob. You don't bookmark your art. I actually just save it all. Yeah, I actually just save it all. I'm like, yeah, that's too much boob. Oh, hell yeah. Nah. Dude, that's too much. That's too much, dude. That's too much. Alar, the only answer to anything under DD cup is blasphemy. More like DD, more like DD's nuts. Got him, boom. Yeah, that's like Milla, that's like Milla size, you know? I don't have that much, big boobs and there's still too much. That's what I'm saying, dude. That's too much boob, guys. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, let's dive into a little bit of news outside of VTubing, guys. First up, I'm going to start with movies and anime, and then after that, we'll talk about gaming news. Yeah, exactly, guys. Like, there is such thing as too big, you know that? I don't understand people's obsession with, like, endless boob, you know? Like, at some point, it just gets to be a bit much. Anyway, guys, first up, I did want to talk about the biopic film, Michael, you know, like Michael Jackson, right? And it's actually past $1 billion worldwide. It's actually the first ever biopic to do so. Very cool. I still have not seen it, but I've heard good things about it. Outside of it. Why would you do that to him, dude? That's mean. Yeah, at some point it's too much. Yeah, right? Put him in the overhead. Oh my god. Hold on, flip moment. I mean, this is one of Michael Jackson's, family descendants, isn't it? Hold on. Sorry, I really got some phlegm stuck. Ooh, I cannot get that phlegm out. Sorry, guys, hold on. Yeah, that was like really stuck back there in my throat. Okay, anyway, yeah, I don't know why they're doing this, chat, but Disney is actually continuing to release their live-action Tangled film. Once again, I don't know why this is. Considering how bad the live actions have done recently, minus Lilo and Stitch, right? But of course, we have things like Snow White. We also have Moana, which did very, very poorly in the box office. I don't know why they did this, right? And I know this is already canceled as well, C+. So what the fuck are they thinking with this, dude? I don't get it. Yes, exactly. I'm like, stop ruining my movies. I said this the other day, but the day that they actually decide to live action Nightmare Before Christmas, I'm done, dude. I'm actually done with this bullshit. Insane, guys. Insane. In other news, Crunchyroll has been facing backlash. Not that this should be any surprise to anybody, guys, but Crunchyroll is receiving backlash from fans, especially collectors, after putting its online store behind a subscription. That is right, guys. I mean, we've already had Crunchyroll with enough of an L, but here's even more for you guys. Starting in August, you need to have one of these memberships to access the Crunchyroll store. If you're a fan with just a $9.99 a month, you cannot access it. Mega fan, you can. Ultimate fan, you can as well. Crunchyroll says the new store will focus on exclusive merchandise, limited edition items, and other member perks. It is also introducing new final sale rules, meaning some products can be returned unless damaged or defective. I think this is so dumb. You would think that having access to merchandise is probably one of the best ways to garner revenue, but I guess Crunchyroll thinks otherwise. Yeah, another L from Crunchyroll, dude. Isn't Crunchyroll owned by Sony? Yeah, so really a Sony L. In other news, guys, not that this is surprising in any way, but Netflix has actually revealed that roughly 300 of their TV shows has used generative AI at some point in their production process. Again, I'm not really surprised by this at all, but obviously some people will be very upset by this. I mean, I'll be honest, guys, I think that we probably knew this was going on in the background, so obviously decide what you want to do with that information. I'm not here to tell you what to do with it, but I will say that, you know, kind of seeing it written out, I don't know. It's not a surprise to me. I'm going to be real. I kind of already assumed that. Makes me want to commit a game Deadpool. You mean a Persona 3? Persona 4? Yeah. I don't know, dude. I think that, obviously, generative AI is, again, here to stay, but you don't have to like it, right? And obviously, you can do what you want about that. Yeah, it gets used a lot more often than you would actually think. Other news as well, guys. Kratos will actually be officially recast in God of War live-action series after Ryan Hurst suffered an injury on set. Apparently, it's a pretty bad injury, guys. They've already filmed multiple episodes, but he tore his bicep. It can take up to 6 months before he can return to physically demanding work. Amazon and Sony did not want to wait. So, yeah, that's right, guys. So you're going to be recasting him, refilming some of those episodes. Yikes, that sucks. Yeah, very bad injury. Very bad injury. In other news, guys, I also want to talk about what's going on with gaming news. So let's skip up and talk about that really quick. First up, guys, Brazil is actually introducing a brand new bill, kind of similar to, Stop Killing Games, where they said Brazil's Congress has officially proposed a bill to ensure players can keep playing their games even if official support ends. They also called for an investigation into Sony's move to stop releasing physical discs for PlayStation consoles. I think there's a big W for Brazil. Of course, a lot of people are wanting their games protected, especially with the ending of physical discs. So very, very nice to see from Brazil. There is a mess of other countries going after Sony because now also, guys, Mexican lawmakers are preparing to file an antitrust complaint against Sony over its reported plan to stop re-releasing new physical PlayStation games after 2028. I'll let elara read this while I take a sip of tea real fast.
They argue that if the PlayStation Store becomes the only place to buy new PS5 games, Sony could gain too much control over prices and distribution.
I think it's
the complaint will reportedly be filed by
about.
Federal Representative Irais Reyes and Senator Luis Donaldo Colosio with Mexico's Competition Authority.
Hey, what's up, Project? How are you?
They argue that
I think it's
without
actually a really good point.
PlayStation users would lose the ability to shop around for the best prices. Retailers that sell new games could be pushed out of the market. The second-hand and game trading market would effectively disappear. Sony would have greater control over game pricing and distribution through the PlayStation Store alone. Developers and publishers could become more dependent on Sony's platform and its commercial terms.
Something else that I found interesting I want to bring up to you guys is, PSN is still not available in a ton of countries, right? In fact, 121 countries are unable to make PSN accounts. So how the fuck are they gonna go full digital if half of these countries can't even fucking play their games because they don't have the ability to access a PSN account? PlayStation Network. So how are they gonna sell these games to these countries if they're not even able to access a PSN account? And this is something that I've really been thinking about quite a lot, because I guess Sony either doesn't care about those countries or just doesn't care about money. But guys, I will tell you guys, people are not giving up. However, who did give up is some of the Sony stockholders. We did talk about this last time, but apparently it wasn't just Sony president and the CEO, Hiroki Totoki, who sold stocks days after PlayStation announcement. Multiple Sony executives have also been selling their shares following this backlash. As you can see, guys, there's a ton of filings of limited changes in beneficial ownership of securities. A couple of filings here from multiple, stock members. So high-profile ones as well. This is obviously very indicative of the faith in the company going forward. I'm not really surprised. We already knew that these went down, but it's very interesting to see other people get involved as well and be like, yeah, nope, I'm out. Potato, thank you for following. Kitty, welcome in. Of course, guys, fans are not giving up. They're doing everything possible to continue the flood of flood of backlash against PlayStation. So now they're going on YouTube, any social media, and they're demanding not to abandon physical media, guys. Whatever they upload, whether it's game trailers, PS Plus videos, hardware announcements, shorts, everybody is going off on PlayStation videos. The campaign is spread so widely, almost every new PlayStation video is now filled with comments about physical games instead of the actual content, which you can, of course, see here as well, guys. Disc, we want physical disc. We haven't forgotten, we want physical disc. Insert the physical disc. Where's the disc? I mean, are we having a disco? People are not gonna let this go, guys. I think that ultimately Sony thought they could weather the storm, but I don't think that's gonna be the case at this point. Yeah, I really, really don't. But something else I want to mention to you that I found is really funny is the Wolverine trailer came out a little less than 24 hours ago, which you guys might have missed. And I'm not really here for the trailer, guys. Yeah, 20 hours ago. Because guess what happened? Wolverine was really getting physical in this trailer. He has such a distinct personality or presence. Wolverine going mad over the loss of physical photo is quite the choice for a trailer at this moment. You know what it was, indie hero? The killer physical. This will go to my physical collection of games. Wolverine's treasured photographs shows the significance of physical media. Can't wait for my disc copy to come in. I mean, dude, people are just not gonna let it go, right? I mean, when my physical copy arrives. Bro, even Wolverine is mad because his physical photo is gone. I mean, dude, they are just not gonna let this shit go. And I gotta say, I really gotta give it to PlayStation fans. They know what they want. They're not letting it go. They're not letting it go. So, yeah, I think that Sony thinks they're gonna weather the storm, but I don't think that's gonna be the case, guys. I really, really don't at this point. No, normally I look at a situation, I go, okay, I like to play the 72-hour rule, right? I like to see what happens about 72 hours after everything goes on. Yeah, this ain't going away, guys. Not anytime soon. Not remotely. Hell will glaze over in ice before this shit happens, dude. The gamers are not gonna let up. And then there's as well, guys, a little bit of fake gaming news I thought was funny. Actually, apparently there's a fake tweet going around from a palette swap that said Power Wash Simulator would be doing a new expansion where they actually was set in the bedroom of streamer Asmongold. Obviously, this was fake, guys, but I found it really funny that Power Wash Simulator responded and said, I'm not sure we'd have the equipment to handle this one. No, it's not real, but obviously them responding to it is funny as fuck. They're just like, yeah, no, we can't handle all that. I'm sorry, guys. Like, love it. In other news, guys, I'm very hopeful you're coming up for Kingdom Hearts. Yes, I know we got Kingdom Hearts news recently, but I have even more hope now, guys, because of what's going on at D23, guys. If you don't know what D23 is, it is a huge Disney fan expo. And guys, there's actually a deep dive into Kingdom Hearts panel on Saturday, August 15th. Guys, you have no idea how big of a deal this actually is for Kingdom Hearts fans, because typically during D23 or any Disney related stuff, they do not talk about Kingdom Hearts. They do not even address it. They don't even pretend it exists. This is actually a huge fucking win for Kingdom Hearts fans. So by them addressing it, a lot of people are thinking there's going to be more, maybe a special trailer, etc., etc. So obviously we cannot watch this because it's a panel at D23, which is a paid fan expo. But of course, if there's any leaked stuff, I will absolutely, let you know and follow up. In other news as well, guys, Pokemon Unite has been dropped from official Pokemon esports events coming up in 2027. I don't know if anybody, plays this, but yeah, I got dropped. I don't know. I think Unite's already been dead, so I'm not surprised by that. But nonetheless, does kind of suck. In other news as well, guys, I'm very excited to get a little bit of Dustbloods news. Dustbloods is actually doing a closed network test that is going to be coming up very, very soon. August 21st, August 22nd, August 23rd, and August 24th. You can sign up to participate in this closed network test starting on July 22nd. So your girl is signing up for that frame fucking one. I'm so excited. I'm so beyond excited. Oh, really? Okay, Kiri, put it in the video suggestions. Very, very excited for this one. So if this is the network test, guys, I think the release is going to be a lot sooner than we were expecting. Interestingly enough, for stuff that I've looked up, the network test involves 8 people at a time, which is crazy, guys. 8 people at a time. So imagine that all of us as a community could potentially, right? I know it's a network test. It might not be a final product, but imagine, guys, that we could play 8 players together. That'd be so cool. Anyway, that's what's going on with Dustbloods, guys. I'll certainly keep an eye out and let you know if there's anything else. In other news, we have a really cool emulator coming here from Patchy that says announcing Mario Kart recompiled. The first static recompilation of a Wii game, Mario Kart Wii, rebuilt for PC. Wow, I can't wait for the Nintendo ninjas to absolutely ruin this. But of course, the beta will be coming out in August with online play and optional retro rewind support, bringing over 200 tracks to it. Take a look. This is actually really cool. I'm very scared for what the Nintendo ninjas are gonna do, but I think it's awesome. Bro, the Nintendo ninjas are actually the worst. Like legitimately, they're just actually the worst. It looks like you get a bunch of custom skins, old maps in it. Yeah, here's the thing though, it also got 8.9 million views, so Nintendo probably did see it, which I'm a little worried about. Now, I do want to point out there is a tiny bit of a dilemma with this particular product. Mr. Fungi goes on to ask, was it AI used in development? Of course, they said yes for code only, no AI art or assets were generated. So I know some people feel a certain way about code. Yeah, so at least just want to point that out. I'm not telling you what to do about it, but, there it is, guys. I do know that we did discuss where certain code made by people can be very exploited if generated with AI, but again, I know sometimes certain tools are very helpful for coding. So I don't know to the extent of this. I'm not an expert, but I do at least want to point it out so you can draw your own conclusion about that, chat. Yeah, you have to babysit a lot. How can it be exploited, I may ask? So Kiri Cat, remember when we talked about Eggy? They were doing vibe coding, right? Where they write code using generative AI, but sadly, because they do that, it is very weak. It's poorly written, so it can be easily exploited. I'm pro polyamory if that's something people want to do. The only reason cheating is wrong. You didn't get your partner's blessing. Are you talking about the Markiplier thing, Hades? Yeah, I'm talking about cheating in a game. That's why I put Fnaf in the title. Yeah. I'm not talking about cheating in a relationship. I'm talking about cheating in a game. I mean, if you care about EIR, then you should be against it if you're consistent about your views, but I'm neutral on it. But leader, I don't really know yet. I'm kind of the jury's not really out for me on this one yet, because I I've seen where people use generative AI coding, and obviously there's still some coders, which I think is wrong. But also I've seen it where they use it as like a tool to like kind of like assist them in showing them what's wrong. Well, I guess it just depends on the tool in itself, right? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not super knowledgeable. I'm not a coder either, so I guess this to me, like,
I cheat on my streamers all the time. I don't see a problem.
I think the generative AI problem is the issue for me. I think, again, using AI as a tool is fine, right, to assist you, but I don't know. I get there's more to it, right? You're specifically design coding AI, Gen AI encoding is bad, right? I think that they're tools to assist you is a good thing, right? That's kind of where I draw my line. So I would just need to see more of the specifics or ask them before I was going to be like, oh, yes, this and that. So that's all the gaming news I got for you guys. But don't worry, because we're going to be hopping into one of our big stories immediately, guys. And that has to do with Alex Myers. If you don't know Alex Myers, they're a pretty big YouTuber. And Alex Myers actually made an Obsession review talking about the movie Obsession, right? And in this movie, he went on to defend the main character named Bear. Now, I don't want to spoil the movie for you, but what I do want to talk about very briefly is Bear in the movie of Obsession, right? And what I will tell you is Bear basically is he's a bad guy, right? In the sense that he's kind of like Walter White in the sense that, like, you're not really supposed to like him. He's clearly extremely flawed, and his flaws are the reason that a lot of issues happen, right? You're not really supposed to like him. However, Alex Myers made a very controversial video. He's basically saying that Bear deserved a lot of credit for not taking advantage of the main character, Nikki, when he had the opportunity to do so. He even saying the movie would have had the same ending if Bear never made the wish because Nikki had a crystal necklace. Again, this is kind of irrelevant, but basically what happened, guys, was he went and supported this main character in the movie who was basically extremely flawed and not good at all, had very controversial comments. He actually made an apology video, which basically boiled down to him saying, sorry if you're offended. He then took down both of those videos immediately. Caused a lot of backlash, people talking about it. And his takes were just kind of ultimately very weird and controversial. I did get to watch the video before it was taken down. What I can tell you is just like, I don't know, it's like the people that are like, oh, Walter White did nothing wrong. It's like, I think you missed the point of the movie. And you're also kind of supporting a character that was really, really shitty and ultimately was very, very flawed. I guess Bear is the main character in this movie Obsession. So very, very, very just ultimately very controversial video. But what I found that is very crazy about this, guys, is not only did he take down the videos, but now people that are re-uploading the video are now getting hit with strikes. That is right. He is having them freaking down. So I think it's pretty crazy that number one, I know that you came out of the video, you didn't like it. It's he has some backlash about it. But going around and, like, I don't know, doing these takedowns is kind of wild to me, you know? Like, yeah, you have to take an L and maybe you don't want to hold that L, but this seems like too much. Of course, the OP here says, I re-uploaded his video because when I did, there was none. There are multiple now. And I thought, why not? Then I'll look at my YouTube account the next day and it's gone within 24 hours. I was also on 2x speed, so I wouldn't get strike. But I guess I'll take down anything now. And yes, I know it's against the TOS to repost people's content. But his video was deleted, so I thought it'd be fine. I mean, I do technically get it is against TOS, but it is his video. He can do what he wants about it. I trust me, I do get the argument of that as well. However, it's just like, I don't know, it feels very extreme to me, you know? As a male who watched Obsession, maybe I got traumatized so bad. Why is that? Were you traumatized because the main character sucked, or like you found it unbearable? Yeah, I mean, he's technically in the right to do it. But yeah, absolutely. It just comes off as like you're trying to hide like the the backlash a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, sadly, people are just gonna do that. I don't think that you should go out of your way to, do that. That's my thoughts, at least. I mean, yes, it is your right to do that, but also, I think it just makes you ultimately look worse, you know what I mean? Please tell me none of you who saw Obsession need to make characters a victim, please. I know that's what I'm saying, Jade. Like, I don't know. Again, I don't think this is like a giant issue, but ultimately I found it very interesting nonetheless. I think people overreacted too. I mean, like, I will say you had some hot takes in it, right? Which is okay. You're allowed to have hot takes. But also at the same time, when you take down the video and make an apology, you kind of cooked yourself. You know what I mean? Like, he cooked himself. And I think that's half of the problem here. In other news, guys, I do want to talk about recently what's been going on with Asmongold. And that is right, guys. If you remember, we talked about Asmongold last Friday. Right, exactly, later. Well, last Friday, guys, we did talk about Mizkif. Yeah, I wish the movie was about that, right? I mean, which Mizkif actually went on to talk about. I'm basically trying to denounce a lot of Imru's allegations, but kind of just whataboutisms and splitting hairs. Well, guys, turns out that Imru actually went on to address these leaked messages as well as Asmongold. Let's take a look at it. So here's what Imru had to say about these leaked messages. If you missed this, guys, I'll show you the screenshots in which Imru dropped. Where she's talking about this password that Asmongold made, which obviously is like, it's really indicative of what it's supposed to be, right? Obviously, Imru goes on to say, I'm not really supportive of that, or this kind of password, right? And I think that's not cool. But Mizkif used this as kind of like a gotcha moment from a post from 2 years ago that was kind of like, number one, why did you release this? And number two, this is stupid, right? Well, Asmon not only addressed it, but on top of that, Imru addressed it as well. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna look at, Nova. Anyway, here we go, guys. Let's see what Imru had to say.
Pretty serious and uncomfortable for a lot of people, so I was like, well, it's probably better if I just like talk about it and like show what happened, and then, you know, it doesn't change certain parts of it, but I was like, I should probably like show what happened. So, oh, music flag, oh, sorry. Hello, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, and that's the thing, empty-headed. It's really funny because Mizkif, like, alleged this stuff, right, about, oh, it's like a password and all this. Well, obviously there needs to be more context in this, so, again, let me show you. Just a little spoiler, guys. The case against Asmongold has been dropped, which we're gonna look at what Asmon had to say about all that.
No one reasonable cares. I don't think that's true. I mean, I would care. I would think.
I'm actually too employed
Again,
for this.
Like, if you don't know
this is my employment, Pop. So.
Oh, that's okay. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say this actually is my employment. So yeah, I'll talk about it for you. I got you.
You can go look at it. I don't really mind. But
that's funny.
So there was like a conversation that was posted by somebody, and I wanted to show the actual context of that conversation.
Again, I think the Mizkif posting this made no sense because it didn't accomplish anything, you know what I mean? Like, it was just some kind of like random ass screenshot post from 2 years ago. I don't understand, because he's already in court. Why would he post this anyway? It was just a bad move on Mizkif's part.
Because it was claimed in the
Asmon was very smart about that.
Oh, we were like joking about a password or like flirting or something, which like that is not what happened at all. And I will show you guys, like, I'm not scared to show that at all. That is not what was happening. Doesn't change certain things, like I said, but I will show you guys. So this is like the first part of the conversation. You can feel free to read it. I'm probably not gonna read through it myself because like that would just take a while, but like you're free to screenshot it, whatever. So the first part of the conversation, we're talking about like streaming on Rumble, blah blah blah. And then I'm talking about, okay, so like this will take a bit, but I'm talking about how Rumble chat is bad because they don't have IP bans. So the context of this conversation is we were talking about crazy viewers, so as well, like horrible people in chat. So
it does feel like a bait almost. where he's trying to put his information out, because ultimately it doesn't do anything, right? It's some kind of like, I guess, meant to be a gotcha, but there's more context, right?
I go on and I'm like, yes, it's horrible because people can just spam different accounts. And so I was talking about this guy who made multiple accounts to like harass people in a chat. And then he, as
dude, there's a person that I know exactly what she's talking about. There's a person that actually has made so many alt accounts that I've banned from my stream. They make so many alt accounts so that they can record all of my streams. It's really fucking creepy. Like, yeah, but people do this. It's absolutely true, guys.
Asmund starts talking about one of Trainwreck's viewers and saying like, oh, Train had this viewer that was like insane, like weirdo racist. And so then I'm like, holy shit, like that's fucking insane. Like that's fucking weird. Like who does that? So that's the actual context of what's going on, is I'm reacting to this super fucking weird viewer, and like we're clearly talking about.
Again, I just don't understand, like, so Mizkif has a court case, right? Against Imru. He goes on to try to hears about stuff cast doubt towards her in this hour-long video. Posts this screenshot, which again really doesn't relate to any of that kind of stuff. It's just trying to paint them in a bad, like, morality light. But also, with some job applications, during all this as well, there's more context that he just clearly tried to ignore to try to paint them in a bad way, which I'm not saying that, I'm not gonna sit here and say that like Asmund is 100% the purest guy in the world, right? Trust me, I don't think that, but nonetheless, I think that is just absolutely insane that you're gonna post a screenshot that's out of context, you know what I mean? Yo, what's up, Jax? How you doing, kitty? Good to see you. Welcome in. It's good to see you, sweetheart. How are you? Can we get a shout out for Jax, please? I'm sorry if you just came in to follow me and sneak away, but I'm getting you a shout out. How are you?
Insane viewers, right? It was not his password.
Let's go.
Like, you can clearly see there's no flirting happening here. But like I said at the beginning, I know like this doesn't change the context of like.
We are talking about the Asmongold, Mizkif, and Imru follow-up. Mizkif is suing Imru, however, his lawsuit against Asmongold got dropped, so we're kind of doing an update on that. But what's up, Kitty? How are you? I've been seeing you're doing so well. I'm so happy for you, sincerely. So, hope you've been doing incredible.
Like, certain things in it, and like, some people are still gonna feel uncomfortable about that, and I totally understand that. Like, I'm not cool with that type of language being used to people. Like, that's fucking awful, and like, looking back now, I don't like the way that I handled that at all. It was wrong. I don't like it, but yeah, you guys can see, this is like, actually the context of what happened. It wasn't like, oh, my password is a horrible word. Oh, hee hee, that's so funny.
There's a lot more Ellie's to it, right? Which obviously Mir says, yeah, I'm not cool with that now, but obviously I'm fucked up in that moment. Thank you, Miss Elara, that means a lot. Hope you're doing the best. I'm doing fantastic, Jax. You know, I've been in this tiny subathon, actually. I started just the other day. Yeah, it was really cool. So I'm on a very small, only 537 days. Yeah, it's no big deal, though. Just itty-bitty subathon that I just decided to, start on the whim. But, other than that, I've been doing pretty good. Honestly, didn't do anything wrong in this situation. Do you apologize? People take it the wrong way, sure. I mean, like, yeah, I think for her, it's just like, hindsight, you're like, yeah, nah, that's not a very cool password, dude. Like, yeah, nope, 537 days. I think I VTubed, for such a long time. I think you were still being birthed. Yeah, I think you were still being birthed at that time, Jax. Oh my god. I'll never be free, trust me. Every time I get a low, we call it the never-ending subathon for a reason.
Like, no, we're laughing about it. Insane weirdo. But anyway, I think it's very unfortunate that even though this is like solely on me, like this should, if anyone's gonna get criticized, obviously it should only be me. Of like, well, I mean, of my friends. It's unfortunate that even though like it's only on me, there are people targeting other people I'm friends with who literally have nothing to do with this at all. Like,
yeah, that is kind of crazy.
They have nothing to do with this at all. And I would like to try to minimize problems for those people, since like I'm currently in like a bunch of really strange, weird stuff, and I don't know yet exactly what that course of action will be.
I'm gonna be honest. I've kind of been waiting for me to have to say this part out loud. Where she's like, yeah, I'm in a bunch of relationships, and sadly, like, this is causing problems, right? And I think for her, it's an unfortunate growing pain, right? It's not. I'm not gonna say that it's always right when people fall in these situations, but sometimes I think there is a point where association to certain people, unfortunately, will cause problems, whether you want it to or not, and whether it's right or wrong. Unfortunately, this just happens in life, right? And I think for her, she's kind of at this like crossroads where it's like her association to people that are controversial, like Asmon, might be harming not only her but some of the people surrounding her, right? And obviously, only you can decide what you're going to do in that situation, right? I mean, I'm not her, so I can't tell you what I would do. But it's definitely a conundrum, right? Because as much as people want to say, you know, association is an equal endorsement, I agree with that wholeheartedly, 100%. If I associate with somebody, that doesn't mean I endorse everything they ever do, right? Or have done, etc., etc. But I do think that you have to at least acknowledge that public perception is kind of the opposite. Unfortunately, right? Most people can't take the time to actually be like, oh, well, yes, they might be friends with them, but they clearly didn't endorse this, right? Sadly, I think a lot of the social perception is the opposite. People are not able to be nuanced enough to understand, hey, just because they're friends with them doesn't mean that they're okay with this particular part of that, right? And I think that is really unfortunate, but nonetheless, it's something you have to consider, especially at her size, right? Yeah, that's why Steak and Eggs ended. She didn't want to talk politics. Asmon didn't want to have people attack her. So I think for her, she's just at that crossroad. Now, I've kind of been waiting for her to say something about it, you know, because I think that a lot of people are like, well, you're friends with Asmongold, and I XYZ disagree with Asmongold about this thing, and why are you still friends with him, right? And obviously, she doesn't endorse everything he says. Of course she doesn't, but I think that the general population of people don't understand how to break down that nuance. And it's something, as a creator, you just have to think about it. You might not like it, but I think that you have to think about that kind of stuff. Like, for me, like, I often try to think about, you know, what arguments of the general public, right? Like, if I go, okay, well, I don't like Gen AI, right? I try to understand how a normal person looks at Gen AI, right? What their thoughts are, or how much they might not know about it, so that way, oh, I could explain it a little bit better, and maybe I could, you know, sway their mind or educate them, right? But I think it's a consideration she's had to have, and I'm glad she's talking about it, because I think a lot of people have been waiting for that for a while.
But I will figure it out. There's like a couple different things that
yeah, exactly.
I'm thinking about, but yeah, I just want to show you guys that like the context is just completely different, and like you can still say like you shouldn't have reacted that way, whatever. That's totally fine. Like, I agree with you. That's fine. But
I'm at least happy that she took ownership. She's like, yeah, you shouldn't have reacted that way, and she's like, yeah, absolutely. I'm not happy with how I did, and I wouldn't now. That was 2 years ago, right? People change over a 2-year period, so I will definitely give her credit on that, for at least acknowledging that.
Yeah, that's pretty much all that I want to say, and I'm just gonna try to stream normally today and play my games and stuff. And yeah, totally understand how people feel, but that is what actually happened. Just showing you guys, and yeah, feel really bad for the people who have nothing to do with this, who are now having to deal with annoying stuff because of that. Like, can't control people doing that. It's the internet. They just do that, and I obviously want the best for those people, and I will do what I can to try to make sure those people get the best, because it is not their fault. They have nothing to do with this, and yeah, pretty much that is it.
So there you go, chat. I mean, I will stop the clip here. There's nothing really at the end to really add here. So obviously, Asmongold decided to finally address this, which the reason he's addressing this, he's been very clear, I will not address it until the court case is done. Well, as I tease you guys, the court case has actually been
anyway, at a certain...
So, sorry, I was rewatching this morning to make sure I titled my stuff correctly. So, anyway, let's take a look at what Asmongold had to say about this whole situation. But, yes, guys, the court case was ultimately, it was dismissed. Here we go, guys.
There has been a lot of posts about this, and I have held my tongue, and I haven't said anything at all. So if I go back and I look at the original post, Mizkif blocked me on Twitter. So yeah, he has me blocked now, right? So this is a tweet that he made a couple of days ago that went semi-viral about me. So a little bit of context. Mizkif sued me for defamation. And in the process of suing me for defamation, I have not spoken about this at all since then. Now, ever since then, he's been talking about me all.
Well, remember, this was a defamation lawsuit, right, Alexander? And kind of looking at the original case like we did when it first came out, I didn't understand to begin with how Mizkif was going to try to go after Asmon anyway, because he didn't say anything that was defaming him. If anything, actually, he was just rereading words from somebody else. So it was kind of like he didn't defame him. He was just reading stuff. So it was a very poorly thought out defamation case. On Mizkif's side.
The time. He's been having, you know, nothing but things to say about me. I haven't really said anything about him. Basically, what happened is that he sued me for defamation. And the ironic thing is that one day before, because actually last night, my case was dismissed. His lawsuit that he brought against me for defaming him was dismissed. It was a recommended decision by the magistrate judge, and then the actual judge adopted that recommendation and dismissed my lawsuit, his lawsuit against me. And so because of that, I am going to be talking about this. I didn't talk about it originally because, I mean, again, I knew I was almost at the finish line, and I know people were like, you know, XQC was like, well, it's a 99% chance you're not going to get in trouble. Yeah, but how many 1% mounts do I have, right? And so I
think that line to me is actually, I'm not going to lie. I'm not an Asmongold fan, by the way. I'm really not. But that line right there actually goes crazy hard. Yeah, but how many 1% mounts do I have? And I like to think that way quite a lot. I'm not going to lie, because... yeah, seriously, like, that's actual just gamer words. Like, that line for me actually goes, like, insanely hard, because you have to think that way, right? Even though it's 99% guaranteed, I'm not thinking about the 99%. I'm thinking about the 1%, right? Yeah, that line goes hard.
I just said, okay, I'm going to wait and give it a minute. These are screenshots provided by Mizkif. It says, a creative, huh? And then this is me typing, you know, I guess... so this is the context, right? So this is people thought, because Mizkif presented this, this is what he said. Do you want to keep hitting on her? The N-word passwords at 33 years old. He's basically accusing me of using the N-word as my password. Where in any of this have I spoken about a password at all? There is no indication of it being a password. He completely manufactured this. Like, of all the things that you're going to accuse me of, this was completely a lie. And
so not only do we have the context from memory as well, but also, as been said, this isn't even a password, right? And then we saw the context and we're like, yes, okay, obviously this isn't even a password anyway. So, I mean, yeah, do I think that this was cool to see or put here? Obviously, what it's implying, no, I don't. I agree with Emery on that, but you're getting the context now, right? So, again, why did Mizkif post this to begin with? Was he just pitching a tantrum because he lost or was going to lose or got dismissed? I don't understand. I don't understand now fully why, right, it's a user, exactly. I don't understand why Mizkif brought this up to begin with.
And it was a complete lie. Like, it was made up out of nothing. So, like, I'm talking really creative shit like that. Screenshotted JK. Now, I'm not going to share the entire context around why Mizkif has the screenshot, but this is one thing that I can say, is that at the bottom of this, and he can't joke around with it because I know he could, because I know he would because of OTK. And basically I'm saying like Mizkif can't joke around with this kind of stuff because of OTK, and it puts him in a position where, you know, he can't be the usual guy that he is. Does this sound like a person who's talking about somebody who they don't like? This sounds like me talking about a friend. And that's because me, Mizkif, and Imru at this time were all friends. The context behind why this was shared, I think, Mizkif, maybe you should provide the context why you have this screenshot. Why do you have this screenshot from Imru explaining all of this? Because I'm not upset about this at all. This was all shared and all this was happening when we were all friends. So he should explain why he has the context to this screenshot. And I think that will be very revealing. Anyway, at a certain point, he wasn't...
Yep, context matters. So again, let's go back to, you know, Imru's stuff here where it says, what tweet about Rumble? Yeah, doing Kata or something. It was streamed once, so it was extremely boring to watch, I'm sure. Since WoW was like my main game, people will watch me do the boring stuff, but I feel so boring doing it. So I talk about really hot, controversial stuff to keep it interesting. I just don't know what the fuck they're talking about most of the time. During it, yeah, also Rumble chat is so bad. They don't have IP bans. Is it worse than my chat, though? Imru says yes because it's slow, and it seems 3 schizos can make a new account in 10 seconds. Wait, what the fuck? Imru says there was that one guy who's making new accounts and numbering them each time. He got up to like 45. You remember Hades from Train's chat? It was like, he's named Rats, the something. No, I never watched Train. He was the most legendary R word. He would come into Train's chat and spam the N word. He'd keep coming up with all the crazy combinations of word and numbers to make the N word. Imru says crying emoji. Aspen says, swear to God, it was 2 years of this shit nonstop. Imru says a creative fire. And then, of course, Aspen puts that right there. So that's the full context.
So this is it. At a certain point, he wasn't even using the word anymore. The funny thing about it is that I was talking about a completely different person. This is the actual context of what was said. So basically, she was complaining to me that there were people...
I mean, here's the thing, Sean. Like, I don't like Asmongold. I'm gonna tell you what to do. I like to just report on it, and then I'll share my opinion. Unless it's like, you know, there's a couple things for me that are just huge no-nos, right? Which, again, I think that... Why did Aspen type that? I feel like any type of jokes like that are just not cool. But only you can decide, right? I can't tell you what to believe.
People harassing her on Mizkif's alt Rumble streams, and they kept making new accounts over and over and over. And so so she was actually getting harassed, and
yeah, we're just
so
talking about
what tweet about Rumble,
now.
I said, yeah, y'all doing Cataclysm. So this is whenever Cataclysm Classic came out. And so I just don't know what the fuck to talk about most of the time.
Yeah, I'm not really here to have like whole deep dive on fucking Asmongold, because I've already done that one day. I'm here to talk about the update to the legal case. So Wilgren is standing as a hip. I mean, like, there's a time to stand up for what you believe in, right, Nova? Like, I know some people will say it's an L on my part, and I don't like bringing this up all the time, but it's just a solid example. The whole thing with Miyazu, where I talked about the transphobia and the racism, right? For me, that was the time you stand up and you speak about what's going on, right? And for everybody, it's different, but I think there is a time to obviously talk about why morality is important and things like that. But to your point, some people do it a little bit too much. I think it's just gotta be in good faith, and it's gotta be an actual reason, you know?
Time during it, yeah, Rumble chat is also bad because they don't have any IP bans. So we're talking about people that are, you know, making repeated accounts. So this is, they don't have
legally
IP bans.
Correct, right?
Is it worse than my chat, though? This is obviously a joke, right? And it's like, you know, and not entirely, right? My chat can have some savages in it. And she said, yes, because it's slow and it's the same 3 schizos, so you can make a new account every 10 seconds. I said, wait, what the fuck? And so people were continuing to make new accounts over and over and over. And then there was this one guy who was making new accounts and numbering them each time. He got up to 45. And I said, do you remember Hades? No, I don't.
I mean,
never watched. He was from
nuts.
Train's chat.
45 accounts,
I said
Jesus
he
Christ.
was the most legendary So this was about Hades. It was not about my password. It wasn't even about me. It was about Hades and me talking about how much of an idiot he was.
So again, guys, just to recap, in case you're just tuning in or anything like that, Mizkif alleged that Asmongold made a racist password, right? Obviously, there wasn't a case. He was talking about some alt accounts and like creative ways to say the N-word, which Aspen did make a joke about it. Bottoming. That is the context.
This is the trans clip, yes. And here's
yeah,
the context.
I have 69
so
alternative
thing
accounts.
Was totally fucking manufactured.
Shadow the Hedgehog
I was
shit.
never having this as a fucking password. What the fuck are you talking about? This is a lie. It was a complete lie. And so it was totally about another person, and she was complaining about getting harassed in his stream.
Ban Hades. Please ban Hades.
9 years ago.
Someone PM me and explain Hades. Hades has been in my chat for 2 years, making over 800 new accounts.
That is
trying
wild.
to say the N-word as much as he can. And we
what
ban
the
him.
fuck?
We probably ban him 30 times a night. Please turn R2D2.
Every single, so basically this is what he did, right? He started using letters, words, like random, like, you know, Egyptian letters, hieroglyphics and shit. And so he would come up with these terms, right? And so he's the most legendary
He could come up with,
he would come into trans chat and spam the N-word. And he would
derogatory terms.
Keep coming up with all these crazy combination of words and numbers to make the N-word. And so then, and she's like, oh, that's, you know, it's funny because it's fucking ridiculous. So it was cut off right there. So this implies this was presented as if I was the one being creative, like coming up with this as a password. And the biggest irony for this is that this is the person that's suing me for defamation. They sued me for defamation.
I'm not gonna lie, like, I gotta be real, chat. Asmon's absolutely right here. This guy's suing it for defamation, but he misrepresents this whole message and talking about, oh, it's a password, but it wasn't. I mean, like, yeah, dude, Mizkif, you're actually might be dumb. Like, legitimately. And also, like, I don't know if this is just a way to try to maybe morally cause maybe not defamation, but to make them morally look bad, right? Because you knew your case was gonna get lost. But yeah, he might actually be an idiot. It's so dumb. Again, do I think that Aspen should be joking about that kind of stuff? No. Should you be typing that? No. I think anything that has to do with jokes like that, just to me, is like a no. I'm not about that kind of stuff. Everybody has different lines, and that's fine. I understand that. As long as it's not straight up racism, bigotry, transphobia, homophobia, etc., right? I think that there's always nuance to something. But in this one here, it's straight up just Mizkif just misrepresented it, and that's it.
The case got dismissed. Isn't that insane? I had all of this ready the day that it happened.
Kind of an indirect
and while
attack on
it would
him
have
as well.
a almost 0% chance of affecting the lawsuit, that chance was not zero. Case dismissed. Yes, there it is.
Yeah, it was literally just meant to be a pain in the ass for Asmongold. That was it.
Defendant Hort's amended motion to dismiss is granted. And it sucks that,
the
you know,
time
a literal lie. This is a blatant, completely manufactured, totally invented. This is not a password. It had nothing to do with a password.
And again, guys, you cannot like Asmongold. That's fine. You're entitled to your own opinion. But what I want to point out here is that Mizkif absolutely, like, he just did wrong here. He actually just acted like a complete idiot here.
Just because there's numbers and letters doesn't mean that it's a password. This was completely manufactured.
He probably
and because
didn't.
of
That's
that,
the issue,
I have
Chris.
people thinking that I'm this huge racist that's saying the N-word privately. That me and Emeru are laughing about, ha 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 ha, we're so racist. We were complaining about it. Can you sue for reputation damage?
And I think the context of the, like Aspen said, is important, right? There is context to it where they're talking about something that happened in the past, etc., etc. So that context is really important to the overall narrative, right? He's not just like throwing it out there all willy-nilly, but there is a reason.
No, because nobody cares what he says. Like, I saw even Hassan retweeting this and other people retweeting this and like talking about this. You.
By the way, chat, I'm sorry to go on a little side story here. Two side stories really quick. Yeah, two side stories really quick. Number one, I wanted to tell you all that Pagma made this goated ass art, and it looks so good. I just forgot to show you that at the beginning of stream. It looked really awesome. Oh, also what I want to talk about, now that Hassan got mentioned, I've actually been doing my research on Hassan. I've been watching all of the videos you guys have been sending me. I've been watching some other ones, etc., etc. And guys, I get it now. I 100%, I fucking get it. When you guys are talking about how bad Hassan is, I actually get it now. Legitimately, I understand what you guys are talking about. Okay, back to our scheduled program.
Retweeted a lie from somebody like Mizkif in order to own me without even checking or thinking about this at all. You just assumed that what he was saying was the truth. XQC commented on it. Let me see. See, and X remembers this.
He coming up with creative combinations and numbers.
Yeah, he has made some absolutely insane statements talking about unaliving people. I mean, I'm like, what? Like, but that's a whole separate conversation. We'll probably dive into another time.
Chat, you know what? I
Just a little side,
bad at
little
all.
side story.
In this context, that makes absolute sense. Chat, do you have any idea how many filters we've had to write that are like this? Thousands to filter these words.
True.
I care because this is a person who's spreading a lie about me.
Adam is talking about some viewers coming up with combinations in the chat that will go through and not get picked up at automod, so they can say the N-word, right? And then he's just writing it like an example of a filter that you would put on for people that are writing like he's writing like some alterations. Like,
That's exactly it.
Buddy, this is correct. If anything, this isn't a racist. This is to prevent racism. So I don't think this is wrong at all. I think it's just weird that people even try to paint this in a way that makes him look racist. I think it's stupid.
I'll be honest, I think it's actually a pretty fair point.
It was. It was completely.
I mean, I'll say that. I think it's a
defends
point.
the chat from racists.
It does.
Yeah, same here.
Like, what the fuck?
The thing is, like, I was gonna message him and like maybe a few of my other friends and be like, hey, you know, by the way, this is what really happened. But I figured to myself, I was like, listen, like everybody's gonna see the truth of it one way or another. And so, because I don't want people think like if people think something about me that's true, I'm okay with that. But I don't want people thinking things about me that aren't even true. It's not even bad in his context. People are softer than baby shit.
That is fair. I can
understand
completely
that,
appreciate
but like,
that.
I wouldn't want people to think that I'm like I tell a lot of racist jokes and I like racial jokes. I think they're funny, but I'm very clearly not a racist. I'm just not. Like I'm. It's just all there is to it. Like.
And obviously, some people are going to disagree. And for me, like those kind of jokes are not my cup of tea. And I'm sure a lot of people would agree with that. I'm sure some people would disagree with that, right? Everybody has a different sense of humor. I just think stuff like that, it's, I don't know. I would not personally joke about it, right? Just, that's my moral compass and that's it. Anyway, let's continue.
I mean, I don't know really what else to say.
You can see where this is going.
Blasman pissed some people.
Hey, what's up, cool, awesome, cool, Chris?
Like,
thank you for the 4 months, dude. I appreciate you.
Oh, wait a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll trust me. It was very shocking.
This is
You
going.
can see where some of these lines
And you
are
see
going.
the little the side dot and then the curse of and then the Q's instead of G's. Oh my God, there's so many examples of this.
It's pretty obvious what that is. Okay, so I think it absolutely makes sense. In its other, yeah, I guess it's I guess you could say it's maybe a little bit edgy to give an example in the middle of the chat. But
I don't think it's edgy at all. It's not a big deal. It's just.
I'll stop the video here because he just kind of watches XQC at this point and addresses some of XQC's points, which I mean are kind of relevant, but not really. Like, we're just here to hear about the court case and the backing on his his stuff that was going on in court. So ultimately, guys, this case has been dismissed. Husband, go give the context for you if you feel like that's good enough. Well, there it is. If you don't, well, that's fine too. I mean, it's really up to you. I think the context really does matter here, but yeah, I mean, it's your call. I think that there's actually Asman and XQC like had some decent points this time though. In a rare moment, I'm gonna say that both of them actually had some pretty decent points here. So, but anyway, guys, that is what's going on with Asmongold, and of course his case with Mizkif. It has been dismissed. So I'll be keeping an eye on what's going on with Imru and Mizkif, but I don't know. I think Mizkif is not going to even win that one or even get close to it. I think that he might try to misrepresent the sexual assault. He's acting like, oh, he had like free like consent all the time, when obviously that was not the case, at least from my Imru's statements. So we'll see what happens, guys. Very crazy. Hey, what's up, Wispy? How are you? In other news, I want to talk about what's going on with Technolarp. Now, a lot of you might not know who Technolarp is, so let's get back in time, guys. I'm going to talk about Technoblade. Technoblade was a famous YouTuber known for his Minecraft videos. You might know Technoblade. His main picture is a pig with a crown, which is actually featured in of course, the Minecraft movie itself. This very, very big deal, guys. He is very, very well renowned. Was very well renowned. I'm sorry. I would say on par with people like Markiplier and PewDiePie, right? I mean, people loved Technoblade, guys. He was a huge deal within the Minecraft community as a whole. Well, guys, unfortunately, he did pass away back in 2022 from cancer, guys. And this was a very huge hit to the community. People still talk about Technoblade, his impact on the Minecraft community, how just great of a person he was, how kind he was, how awesome his content was. I mean, this guy was legitimately just a great guy, like the purest of the pure, never had any problems. And obviously didn't make too many videos at the end, but Technoblade did pass away. I actually covered when he passed away. I remember talking about it. His dad, came on screen, talked about it as well. Yeah, I'm just trying to paint for you. I need you guys to know this was like the Captain America of YouTubers when it came to Minecraft, right? Never did anything bad. Was pure of heart, just an upstanding guy. I mean, everybody loved Technoblade. His legacy is very much felt within even the YouTube community, but I would also say mostly in the Minecraft community. I mean, this guy he's just a big deal, guys. He really, really was. So what I'm going to be talking about is something that stemmed from Technoblade, and that is Technolarp. If you guys don't know this, there's actually a couple LARP accounts. There's somebody that LARPs as Technoblade, obviously. There's somebody that LARPs as Moist Critical. There's a bunch of these LARP accounts, which I didn't even realize was a thing until more recently. However, guys, Technoblade's dad got involved with this because Technolarp grew very quickly. He grew to 200,000 plus subscribers on YouTube, operating as Technoblade, right? He's like, well, I'm doing this in honor of Technoblade. I want to raise money for charity. However, of course, this caused a bit of a friction, right? Obviously, a lot of people are like, well, why are you doing this? Is this kind of weird, dude? Like, you're LARPing as somebody else. For him, it was more intended as what he said, like a memorial, right? To continue his memory and also to honor him. However, guys, Technoblade's dad actually responded to Technolarp. This was, again, he rapidly grew, imitated his voice, mannerisms, and content style of Technoblade, right? So imagine somebody passed away, guys. Very beloved person. Somebody comes up and is kind of LARPing as them, right? You can probably see why this is very uncomfortable. So Technolarp has gained more than 180,000 YouTube subscribers by presenting himself as an intentional knockoff of Technoblade, using a recolored version of Minecraft creator skin, publishing videos designed to resemble his content, and in some cases recreating some of Technoblade's old videos. One upload was promoted with the caption, "He's back in spirit." Technoblade, whose first name was Alex, was one of Minecraft's most recognizable creators and prominent member of the Dream SMP. Again, guys, Technoblade was in the fucking Minecraft movie, right? Before receiving a public response, Technolarp acknowledged he never obtained permission from Technodad. However, he argued that Technodad knew about the channel and did not ask him to stop. So this is going to be a huge crux of the problem here. So Technolarp reached out to Technoblade's dad, who is called Technodad, and said, "Hey, bro, are you okay with this, right?" Well, he never technically got permission, but he at least knew that Technodad had seen him and has not had any intention to stop me as of the moment. We don't know his thoughts yet. Let's give him time to figure it out if he likes it or not. Well, my argument is like, why are you creating content like this if you never got permission, right? Like, you took his silence as permission. And I think that is a problem, right? Technolarp said his monetization was disabled, right? And this was a big part of his whole thing. He's raising money for charity. He would not earn revenue unless Technodad allowed it. He also insisted he's not a replacement. Instead, describing himself as obvious knockoff to entertain people. Technodad did respond to all this, right? He said, after a Reddit user asked whether he had approved Technolarp impersonating making money from his son, He said, I've been avoiding addressing this for a while. He did not know how to react and considered impersonation flattering to Technoblade, but remaining uncertain about how he should respond. This is how it is. I've been avoiding addressing this for a while now. I just don't know how to react to this. I mean, certainly it's flattering to Techno, but like, what am I supposed to do? I will say that Technolarp has reached out to me on a few occasions to get my take on things. I've been putting this off for a while. I just don't know what to say to him. Lately, I've been feeling very much like I just want to hide in my room and work on my scripts and space visualization software. Some days I don't go outside. It's very peaceful. I don't really have enough peace in my life. I feel a little guilty for how I've kind of disappeared from the community, but I know I'll be back at some point. Anyway, my response is inconclusive. You know, he's still thinking about the whole thing, right? I think this is really important because Technolarp never technically actually got permission from Technodad. Obviously, Technodad is like, I don't really know how to feel about that. But he's still going forward with doing this. Now, before we continue, chat, do you find this to be disrespectful? Do you think this is okay? I mean, what do you guys think? For me, I think it's just distasteful regardless. I understand that you're saying you're not going to be making money off of this. You're only doing this for charity and honor. It's weird overall, right? The fact also that you contacted him, didn't get permission, but still decided to go forward with it. I think it's my biggest problem overall with the entire thing, guys. I think that if you are going to do this, you should get express permission. In my thoughts. However, guys, Voice Critical ended up talking directly to Technolarp after doing a video about this situation, right? Well, Technolarp showed up in his stream, talked to him, and we actually found out some more damning information that's really, really important that you guys need to know. And I think for me, this video really swayed my mind on it, Coco, because at one point I'm like, well, I'm kind of conflicted in the sense that, okay, you're doing this for a good reason, but also you're kind of picking up somebody's persona. Pretty weird, right? But turns out he's actually making money off this, and it's not just all for charity. And that, for me, I think is the direct problem. He's LARPing as somebody's deceased son to make money. And for me, that's where I draw the line. There it is, yeah. So anyway, we're going to take a look here at Voice Critical's video. Here we go.
Really didn't think there was a dimension in the multiverse where I would be making another video talking about the Technoblade
and that's for me
stuff.
the problem.
I just made a video flapping my gums about how I find it to be weird and distasteful. It's not in good taste, and there's certain things about it I find to be disrespectful, to be honest. The fact that Technolarper reached out to Technoblade's father asking...
I think it's really only up to Technodad to decide if Technolarp is okay to do this, right? It's not really our call. We can look at it and be like, well, we don't like this, but if Technodad said he was okay with it, ultimately that would be the final call, which, by the way, Technodad did make a decision, but we will talk about that after this video.
Permission to impersonate his deceased son, never got a response, and took the silence as permission to just go ahead, go hog wild, hit the gas, and do it anyway until he's told otherwise. I think it's wrong. Basically, better to ask for forgiveness than permission. I just found that to be, no matter how you spin it, odd, and seemingly not caring about how the father of this beloved YouTuber would feel about you making a career off pretending to be him, even going so far as to play with his friend, Skeppy, while still in character as Technoblade LARPer. And
this definitely rubbed people wrong, just because, again, he was actually playing with one of Technoblade's former friends, creating content together, and it seemed very odd, you know what I mean? Like, it's one thing, I guess, to create content like this, also go and, like, seek out his friends and kind of LARPist him still during that. I don't know, dude, it feels so off, you know?
I just made it clear that I don't like it. I don't. It rubbed me the wrong way, but overall, I didn't think he was, like, a malicious guy, and I still don't. I don't think he's a bad guy, but I think that he is really lost in the sauce here and is doing everything to try and make it seem like he's on the morally correct side of things, and that you're okay to disagree, but if you do disagree, it's because you don't have the whole context, and actually this is a good thing he's doing. He came into my stream tonight to talk to me.
I do agree with Charlie here. I don't think that he's necessarily, like, a bad guy or trying to, like, do something awful, and he does comply with anytime that information is given, right? Like Technodad says XYZ, he does comply with it. So I am more under the impression he's not malicious, but again, I do think that what he's doing is just very morally gray, and with a lot of the details, it makes it look really bad.
Me about my video missing crucial context that painted him in a bad light. Now everyone's scared. I think referring to like the other LARP tubers. Now he said that as a result of this story.
By the way, guys, there are other LARP tubers out there. Again, there's a LARP tuber of Voice Critical. I mean, there's a whole LARP tuber community. It's kind of crazy.
Blowing up, which by the way was blowing up well before I talked about it. Again, Matt was the one that put this on my radar in the first place. It was already big, and as a result, he said that he got doxxed and that his family was even getting like death threats and stuff, which obviously is...
Guys, this is a recent memory, right? It's not like you're LARPing as somebody that died hundreds of years ago, right? This is somebody in recent memory that people legitimately are still feeling the effect of. That's how big of a deal Technoblade was.
Something no sane person condones. I never encourage harassment of any kind. All I was doing was giving my opinion
Bro,
on how I felt about it, which is I don't like it. I never would ever...
like, you know what? LARP this back pain. Get wrecked.
Advocate for that kind of treatment.
Oh my god.
Anyway, as for like the everyone's scared thing, like everyone's, you know, chomping at their nails, tinkling their britches for whatever reason and blaming me for it, I'm a little confused there because I made a strong point saying that I am aware of the LARP tubing community and I actually really like it. That it's entertaining, it's silly, it's fun,
yeah,
it's
wholesome.
So like, I don't know where that's coming from.
Let me actually show you. Let me see if I can find the LARP Voice Critical, because it's kind of funny. God, I cannot type today. I mean, I am like 10 light years away from my keyboard. Here it is. It's right here. The LARP phone situation is crazy. I mean, look at this.
Stop what you're doing. We've got an emergency afoot. A few weeks ago, I made what can only be described as a catastrophic financial decision.
So again, he's just like kind of like half pretending to be Charlie, kind of have some fun with it. You know, make some stories, etc., right? So, I mean, it's kind of fun.
Technolarp is an entirely different beast for very obvious reasons.
Yes.
This is like comparing cereal to fucking nitroglycerin. Like, this is night and day differences with the other...
And the reason is because Technolarp has 200,000 subscribers. This is a big deal.
Technolarp is in an entirely different ballpark. Technoblade passed away 4 years ago from cancer, and it has still left a void in the community that will never be... filled, obviously. And then Technolarper comes in, and he just one-to-one recreates the content, the style, and everything, and then even plays with Skeppy. So it
Look, I think Lone Soul, in a perfect world, he should have reached out to Technodad, waited for permission, got permission, and then done it, right? Because only Technodad can really make that decision, right? It's up to Technodad above everybody else. LARP Lara. Bro, that would be crazy.
Feels as though he is stepping in to try and be like the Technoblade replacement. And even if he denies that, in the context that he's referring to is that Skeppy apparently reached out to him to schedule the collab.
I mean, it doesn't matter. You still did the collab.
And I do have the screenshot of that in the video. It's just not something I paid any attention to because that's not what's important. It's the fact that it happened at all. You could have said no. You could have said, no, this crosses a line and I'm not comfortable doing something like this because it feels like now I'm trying to integrate into a community to continue LARPing as your deceased friend, which is not something that is healthy for people that are still very clearly dealing with this loss. And if you really wanted to play with him, because obviously he looked up to Technoblade, Technolarper that is, and I imagine his friends as well, then play with him, but as yourself, not Technoblade. So anyway, we had a lot of back and forth throughout the stream, and he even implied that I should make a follow-up video now with the additional context, which I don't think adds anything here. I still think this is a bad look because it was still your choice to do it.
I think it's very weird that people are pointing the finger at Charlie because he made a video, because it's like, but he had the full context, and also like this new information actually makes you look worse. Technolarp, why is your avatar avatar so what? Is that a fucking word? Like, yeah, is that a word? Like, oh, that's Swedish for thick. Thanks. I don't know. I mean, I just be thick. What do you want me to say? Thick. Yeah, what do you want me to say, bro? Okay, so guys, this is now the How many times have I had to bring this up? I'm gonna bring this up one more time, guys. Before I start, like, actually tell my mods to do something, guys, please do not bring up people's deaths in my stream. Do not bring people's deaths into my chat. You don't know how people are gonna react to that. That's not fair. Not only is it not fair to me, but that's not fair to other chat members as well. Do not post about people's deaths in my chat, or I'm gonna have the mods start taking shots at you guys, okay? I've said this once before. Actually, I've said this multiple times, so this is gonna be the last time that I say this, all right? If I need to add this into my rules, I guess I will. I feel like this is very normal not even VTuber, Twitch etiquette. Don't do that kind of stuff, guys, okay? Thank you. I'm not trying to be a bitch, but, like, that's very, that's just very, like, that's very thoughtful for other people, right?
Even if you were reached out to first, you still had every opportunity to say, no, this feels like it crosses a line into, like, you know, like a replacement type of thing, like integrating too deeply into the community while pretending to be Technoblade. So, like, it does, to me, I don't think it changes anything, which is why I didn't make, like, a strong point about it. But anyway, I wanted to show you how this conversation went. And just off rip here, I want to mention a couple things I find to be very important, because I felt schmeckeldorfed when I was learning some new things about Technolarper directly from him. And I think a lot of other people have been at least somewhat misled on the whole kit and caboodle here of Technolarper.
Yeah, and this video for me is not only is you know, Charlie talking about it, but he literally directly dealt with the guy in his stream. So I feel like there's just some exclusive information that has to be shared. Imitation isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world. People have imitated deceased creators that can be in good taste. Look at the Michael Jackson. Right. So I personally believe a form of imitation and vacuum isn't necessarily always in a negative light. I agree with that, right? But this'll one, it's too much.
I was under the impression, as well as many others, that
I mean, look at
there
like
was
all
money
the
going to charity through Technolarper making this content.
Michael Jackson
in his description,
right?
it said, still deciding charity earnings. So the implication is, the content is generating money that is solely used for charity. That is not the case. And after the stream where we went back and forth in this conversation, he changed it to, I do not have monetization enabled, just full stop. And something I talked about in the last video is a tweet where he said he wasn't going to make money off it unless he got Techno Dad's blessing to do so. And I was a little confused on what that meant, if he was trying to earn personally or more for charity. Because again, so many people like myself were under the impression that all of this was done with no like financial gain on his own end or anything like that, just all money going to charity through this.
So again, he's not monetized actually on YouTube. He doesn't, no, his dad is not Technolarp. Yeah, no. This is just a fan link. This is just a fan. Technolarp is just a fan. So people that he has monetization on, which obviously is not the case. He's only taking money through donations.
And that was something that was used as a defense of the entire thing, about how he's doing this from like an ethical perspective, where he is doing all of this just because he was so inspired and wanted to pay homage and a tribute to Technoblade and all the money.
Which I think is fine, right?
Well,
I think it's okay.
A half-truth. The charity money...
But here is where I have a problem, right, chat? So he doesn't have YouTube monetization on, so he's not making money from the videos, right? But he has a charity donation link right here, and then a personal donation link. And he's actually taking tips, taking donations on his channel by LARPing as Technoblade. And for me, this is for me, this is the problem, right? If this link wasn't in here, I'd never had a problem. I'd be like, okay, yeah, I mean, you should definitely reach out to Technoblade's dad to get permission, because what you're doing kind of feels icky, but you're doing it for charity, so awesome, dude. Like, we love that, but, yeah, having this here, nah, dude. And even if he made no money off of it, it's horrible optics.
Money is generated through the streams that he does, so he has a charity donation link at Tiltify, and then right under that, he has a personal donation link, where you can donate to Technolarper himself, the guy doing this. And then at the very bottom, he even has a sponsored section. Server hosting by Prism Nodes. Use code LARP at checkout for 30% off on any purchase. That feels like a deliverable for a sponsorship. He has his own code, LARP. That's affiliate marketing.
Yeah, so you're taking is he making money off affiliate marketing?
When I asked him about that on stream, he said that they paid him in a server and that they had offered him money, but he declined. But you still have a code. So like, where's that going? Is that going to charity? He didn't say on stream, but like,
yeah, that's also kind of problematic. Like, you have where's your affiliate money going?
You have a sponsor as Technolarp, and you do have a direct personal donation link to you,
right,
not
exactly.
to charity.
This isn't
and he
just
did
like
even say on stream that, yeah,
pure
that's
charity
there,
event,
but
you know?
the charity donations far eclipse the personal ones that he's received. So you are financially benefiting from it. Like, no matter how you spin it, you are making money off being Technolarp.
Yep.
So, like, that does, at least to me, change things in how I perceive this. I was under the impression that it was all going to charity, and that you weren't financially benefiting from it. You were benefiting with, like, a very successful YouTube channel, but not, like, money going into your pocket. But you are. So then that hullabaloo that you said on Twitter about how you're not going to make any money off it unless Technodad gives his blessing, that, what, a load of fish paste? Was that just a liar plants for hire moment? Because you have a personal donation link. Technodad never gave you that permission, and Technodad's statement is very clearly saying that he doesn't know how to feel about this. After so much pressure from your community as well as everyone in general asking, like, well, what's his take on it? He came out and said and made it very clear how uncomfortable he is with it and that his feelings are ultimately inconclusive.
Which, by the way, chat, when this does resolve, Technodad did make a final decision, by the way.
Yet, you're still making money off it, even without his permission to do it, and even after you said you wouldn't make money off it unless he said you could.
Made him feel uncomfortable.
Like, I don't know,
I showed you guys.
You can't see why that's not good, and that's weird. This is going to be a bit of a longer video, because even before getting into, like, the back and forth on stream...
Exactly, like, why are we taking silence as a yes? Like, in a situation where you're LARPing as somebody's son, why would you take silence as a yes? I don't get people sometimes. This absolutely just, it shocks me.
Again, I wanted to be the focus of this, but there's so much to talk about here. I want to talk about the people that are doing the best they can to defend Technolarp. You know, putting up the shield and fighting his PR battles for him for free on Reddit. The amount of people saying that I didn't do any research on it and got all my facts wrong and that it was just a jumbled mess is fucking baffling.
Yeah, I mean, that's just factually incorrect.
And just talking about, like, the plain facts, we don't know how Technoblade would respond. And if we want to go down that route, we do have at least this screenshot of how Technoblade responded to someone else making money off his brand when he...
I forgot about this. This is actually some people were basically like, well, how would Technoblade feel, right? And this is an old screenshot where he said, making money on my brand, that is weird, champ. So a lot of people kind of took this as, well, this is what Technoblade said when he was alive, so you shouldn't be doing it. I mean, I think that is, obviously I don't know the context, but nonetheless, seems pretty clear to me.
He was still with us, but we don't know if he'd find this, like, entertaining and give his blessing, or he wouldn't like it. And we can't use that for anything. All we can go on is how his father feels, because that is what should really matter here. And his dad is very clearly...
I agree with Charlie 100%. The dad's take on it is what matters the most out of everything in the world.
With it at the very
dad
least,
literally should be the one that decides that.
But there's so much pressure on him to try and talk, and he doesn't want to be viewed as, like, a bad guy or the enemy. And I think that comes across very clear, where he's playing nice with this whole thing, but he isn't comfortable with it and never gave his permission for Technolarp to make money off it, for sure, or
what are you
do it in the first place and continue doing it. The other piece of context that apparently the research missed was that Technodad had apparently said Skeppy can do it if he wanted to. Again, that is, to me, not him enthusiastically giving his stamp of approval. It's, he keeps getting pressure and he's just saying, okay, yeah, you can do that if you want to do that. That's how I see it. The missing context is just one that I didn't think added anything to it at all, because the fact of the matter is that collab should have never happened in the first place.
So basically, Technolarp is arguing with Charlie here, saying, well, you know, I collab with one of Technoblade's old friends, right? But he invited me. But it's like, that context kind of doesn't matter, because you still did a collab with one of Technoblade's old friends and LARPed as Technoblade, you know? So it's like, why did you do that collab to begin with? Why didn't you just turn that down? And I think that's Charlie's point as well, and I agree with that 100%.
This was something that was actually approached with respect to Technoblade.
Yeah, imagine if that was the fucking standard for intimacy or 1,000 other things.
People in the community, people like Tubbo, are also expressing similar sentiment. Is it safe to say I'm really not sure?
This is a former friend of Technoblade as well,
Tubbo. This whole LARP account trend thing that just feels off. And then a response from Sneaksnag, you're not a fan of a dude impersonating our dead friend? And he says, I know, right? This isn't an uncommon or perspective that's only shared by those that are biased and haven't done enough research or missed context. Like, these are people that knew Technoblade, people that are in the community, and they are also expressing similar sentiment that it's weird. It's not great. Anyway, though, now I will finally just...
Yeah, I don't know, Jag. I mean, again, like, maybe he thought he was being nice or trying to help out. In my opinion, though, I think that whoever that friend was, I forget his name, he did wrong.
Talking back and forth with Technolarp through chat. I know you didn't mean to cause what you did. You may not even know the full context of what is happening. Down to talk about it whenever. A lot of people are scared right now. What?
Yeah, like, even if you remove the money part of it, which I think is, like, the the most damning part. I think they're just imitating him. It's kind of weird, right? But anyway, this is actually Technolarp showing him in Charlie's stream and talking to him, and he's like, "You don't know the damage you cause. You're missing context." And he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
What? What do you, I have no idea what you're referring to there, man. The LARP tubers? I don't understand. Holy vague post. It came from Technolarp, so I'm assuming it's about me talking about how I don't find that to be in good taste. I've been doxxed and my family has been threatened. Some other LARP tubers are also under attack. Well, that's awful. I'm sorry to hear that. You were reasonable but missed some context.
I think that obviously it's awful that they got doxxed. I mean, that is completely unacceptable, right? Nobody should be doxxed for this kind of stuff. But again, I'm sorry that happened. Unfortunately, bad things do happen, but that doesn't mean that what Charlie said was wrong or he encouraged anybody to do that, right? Like, sadly, that's just what happened.
Context, it painted me bad. I know you meant well. Is the context that Skeppy reached out to you? Because I didn't miss that. That is there. I just didn't find that to be an important thing to mention, because it's not who reached out to who, it's the fact that you still did it in the first place, man. You could have said no. Or if you wanted to collab with him, just do it as yourself,
right,
not
it feels selfish.
a beloved deceased figure that happened to be his friend.
Yeah, again, I agree with you. It feels selfish at the start. But at the same time, like, it would have been okay if it was all charity, but
There's
it wasn't.
Not like context I missed, man. It's just my opinion that I find it to be weird, especially since you reached out to Technodad, got no response numerous times, and still proceeded to do it.
Yep. Exactly,
That's a choice, and it's
dude.
just not one that I like. But I'm not your dad, man. You can keep
like,
doing it.
you don't have to like it at all. It's your opinion.
Go big. I only reached out to Technodad.
Like, you don't have to like somebody LARPing at somebody else.
Said you reached out a couple
it's
times.
Literally your opinion.
Was that not correct? But regardless, still, man, you didn't get a response and still did it. Like, that didn't seem whether or not he cared about it or how he felt about it. And that's all I was saying. I find it weird. There's not a whole lot to change my mind on it. I find it to be in poor taste is all. You also talked to Skeppy about it and okayed him to do the collab.
Skeppy, that was the other collaborator, Technoblade's old friend. Yeah, Skeppy, that was the one he collab with. I cannot remember the name for the life of me.
All right, it still doesn't change my perspective on it, man. And like you said, pressure from the community, I imagine he probably felt obligated to give his blessing to that. You had a choice of not doing it.
Yeah, I mean, you can LARP
or doing it,
dead
but
people
not
now,
as
apparently,
the LARP.
Lenny. Like, it's apparently a thing now.
These things don't really change a whole lot on how I feel about it. Opinion's fine, everyone's opinion's respected. I don't want you to change your mind, just the fact that so much context was cut and making it look like Technodad was against me. Brother, in his own statement, he said he is very conflicted on how to feel about it. You've put him in a very awkward, uncomfortable position and took his silence as permission.
Yeah, I think saying like, oh, well, your opinion is Technodad is against me. Well, he's also not for you. Like, you literally have put him in a box where he feels like he has to fucking reply.
And even now, you're doing the same thing. Do you not see how weird that is for him? Like, his statement makes it pretty clear. So even though he's not outwardly against you, because that would probably lead to fans getting upset at him, so he's doing his best to navigate that, he still is very clearly not enthusiastic about it. There's no cut context or anything, man. That was his statement. As for, like, him saying Skeppy can do it,
well, which I showed you guys.
About that. But again, that still doesn't change it. That collab, I don't think was in good taste regardless. I think it's unhealthy for Skeppy, and I think that's a bad look for you. That makes it look like you're trying to replace him in the community. If you're talking about his post from 3 days ago about how much talk there is about Technolarp, he's just approaching it with a good attitude. Nothing like really being like...
We're gonna LARP dead things. I'm gonna LARP bricks and minifigs credibility. That'd make a great Halloween costume, by the way. Just like a skeleton with like a big like bricks and minifigs like across your chest or something. That'd be awesome.
Like, oh no, it's all cool and joking around.
Great Halloween costume for this year.
Because it seems like the community that you've built up was really pressuring him to talk about it, as you said. That's the only thing I can find of him even being like outside of his statement about how he can't quite figure out how to feel about it. That's the only other thing I see, which is this. I'm assuming this is what you're talking about. Is this right? Because this is the only one I can...
So this is Technodad on the Technoblade subreddit, and he says, it's time to stop talking about how much we're talking about Technolarp. Okay, so this Technolarp guy hit the scene, right? We all started talking about him, fair enough, seems on topic, but then it went too far, and so we started getting people talking about how much we're talking about Technolarp. Some people say we should stop talking about him. Some say we should continue talking about him. But I say that's gone too far. Just talking about how much talking about him we're doing has got to stop. I'm gonna stop talking about how much we're talking about Technolarp, Mr. Techno Dad. P.S. This is a complete tongue-in-cheek. He's just fucking around and having fun, right? He's like, oh, we gotta stop talking about Technolarp because we're not talking about, you know, Technoblade. Like, he's just having fun, right?
I like it to even vaguely match what you're describing. That and the comedy made somewhere calling it a tribute band. So you
I mean, I would say a tribute band is honestly the best way to like categorize it.
Shows that he's like cool with it. That's your takeaway from that?
This does not show that he is cool with it at all, by the way. He's making a fucking joke.
So you acknowledge that he was being pressured to speak on it, and then take that as like him joking around with it, so he's like probably okay?
Yeah, it's meant to fuck with you, right, Captain?
Not exactly
You're like,
fully aware he's still thinking on it and not posted since then. But you reached out early, right? And got no response, so then still just did it. So it wasn't until all this that you've had second thoughts on it. LARP Penguin Zero also spoke about it. He looks up to you. Brother, I got nothing against the LARPtuber community. I thought I made that abundantly clear.
I feel like Technolarp tries to appeal a lot emotionally. He's like, oh, well, we're getting attacked, so we're getting doxxed, which obviously is bad, right? But he's like, oh, well, people look up to you. Your video missed context, so we're getting attacked. Like, he's really appealing to the emotional side, but it's like, dude, at the end of the day, like, it's very clear cut. And I feel like you just kind of adding that in doesn't really change anything,
and
you know?
You're fine to have different feelings on it if the LARPtubers feel differently on it. But yours is a very unique case where you are building a very successful career off of LARPing as a deceased beloved individual and directly integrating into the community, whether or not you believe it, as his replacement. And I think you knew that going into it, man. I saw your Twitter. One of the things you posted was about how you're surprised by how little drama there was around what you're doing. Skeppy sees me as another person, not Technoblade, not a replacement. Then why do you go as Technoblade, as Technolarp? And why does he call you Techno in that video? And even if that is true, man, you don't think that that's unhealthy? If he saw you as just another person, why not go as yourself?
I'm kind of glad Charlie points this out and like, how is this unhealthy, you know? Charlie, like, why are you gonna pretend to be this guy, and then hang out with his friends and be like, oh, well, I'm this person and this and that? I don't know, dude. Like, that feels so odd, and I feel like that can't be healthy for you as a person, right? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. That's how I feel about it.
And as I said, I don't think you're a bad guy, but I don't think that you're willing to see where people are coming from and why it's so
I'll be honest. Empty edits on me. I think he's young and stupid.
Doing
that's
and how it affects people that are directly involved with it, like Skeppy, or obviously Technoblade's father. I'm not going to ask you to make another video with more context, but it would be nice. Some of your fans have taken it too far. Okay, what is it? What? Brother, you keep...
He's like, some of your fans are taking it too far. He's like crashing out like, dude, number one, Charlie doesn't have to make another video. And number two, prove that it's his fans, right? I really fucking hate when people say this shit all the time. Oh, your fans are attacking me. Okay, well, prove it. Like, how do you know they're fans, right? Like, if you prove it, absolutely. I will take action. 100%. You give me that information, I will fucking ban that person and make sure that they never show up in my community again. Because I have a very strong policy against harassment. Hi, Axie. How are you, kitty? Good to see you around here. Welcome in. I am totally okay of taking action. But number one, Charlie doesn't control every individual fan. And number two, you probably have no proof for that. Now, obviously, if there is, Charlie would take action, right? But I really, the best you can do is like, hey, don't do this. That's it. I can't control every individual person.
You keep saying missing context. And then the two things you listed are two things that I don't think add any further context to change anything.
Hey, Minnie, what's up?
To, like, justify it.
Because
again, man, the brass tacks, taking out how I feel about it, the very simple fact is, Technodad did say that it is inconclusive how he feels. He doesn't know how to process it. And you reached out, got no response, and still did it anyway.
If somebody told me, I don't know how to feel about this, I would wait. I would purposely wait till they came to a conclusion, right? I'd be like, hey, you know, how long do you need for this, right? I don't want to push things. I'm trying to be respectful, you know, raise money for charity, etc., right? This could have been such a positive conversation, right?
That feels bad. And you can try and dress
literally,
it up however you want, but that's an immutable fact.
Why can't elara control me? I give you permission.
Turned off. That's one thing that should have been stated maybe.
Be like, I told all my viewers to jump off a bridge, but they didn't. What happened?
I read your about section. You said you were deciding where the money will go to what charity. That is in your own about section. And then on your Twitter, you said you won't make money until Technodad gives you the okay. And I said I don't exactly know what that means, if that means that you're not making money or that you plan on it in the future, but in the meantime are donating to charity. That is in your about section, that you are deciding where the money, what charity it's going to. So actually, you saying that is a little interesting because the community...
I can't wait to look on the news and it'd be like, all these people, it's like millions of people jump off a bridge. No, they even have that kind of like fucking influence, but you get the idea.
That watches you thinks that you're donating the money you're making to charity. I have a donation link in my live streams for charity through Tiltify. So you have a donation link for charities? I want to sit on this for just a moment because he said that he wrote that after running a community poll for when the channel was monetized. When the channel was monetized is the verbiage he used in that community post. And in there, he ran a poll
he also says the channel isn't monetized, so I guess he decided not to monetize it. Yeah, it's a very crazy story, Legion, and that's why I wanted to talk about it.
The audience would be okay with in terms of the revenue split of him and charity. Right. I feel like that's a very different entree than the one that we'd been getting served off the menu, where everyone, including him leading into it, has been saying that, no, it's always been about, like, charity. You know, it all goes there. If any money gets made, it's going there.
This is my biggest problem as well.
He has a community post from a month ago where he does outright kick around the idea of, like, hey, you know, this should be worth something, and I'm not in the best financial spot. What would you guys be okay with? Like, is there a world where I can start taking some of the revenue that this channel could generate when it's monetized? Like, and that's not including the personal donation link that he has in his streams.
On YouTube now, by the way, I will let you know.
Financially, I'm not in the greatest position. This channel makes no money.
How are you?
I would like it all to go to charity when it does start making money. However, hosting these events that I want to make and getting a $250 flight sim to beat Minecraft, etc., I would like to know from you, the community of Technoblade, if I deserve even a portion of the money made. Been thinking about it for a while. While I do have to put effort into making this content, which should be worth something, it wouldn't be watched if not for Technoblade's legacy. Then ran a poll to his community about should...
I think this for me is just like, it's very clear that he wanted to make money off of it. But the way it's worded, right? Which I understand, yes, you're working really hard, stuff like that, but you're also LARPing as somebody else, so you never got permission. It's kind of a done deal.
25% of the money go to charity, so Technolarp gets most of it. 50%, so he gets half. 75%, so he gets a little. Or 100%, he gets none. The community voted mainly for 50-50. So if the channel got monetized, well,
I think so as well. I think that, like, I don't think his intentions were bad at the start, but ultimately this is what ended up being great. I think that he wanted to take a little bit of money, but he realized that it looked really bad, so he kind of made concessions. But ultimately, those concessions did not help his case ultimately, especially optically.
He literally says, I would like it all to go to charity when it does start making money. So it does seem like that was the plan, or at least he was expecting Technodad to...
Like, if he didn't make money, would he still be doing it? That's a good question.
And then he goes into saying, but, you know, there's a lot of effort that goes in this content, which should be worth something. And then pulls his audience about, like, well, how much can I take from this? You know, like, how much would be okay with you guys? Again, that does feel kind of contradictory to what everyone says about the Technolarp channel and what he was saying during stream.
Like, oh yes, charity. Well, it's not, bro.
Charity.
He literally kind of just asked you. I feel like it's a yes or no. Are you okay with me taking money for this or not, right? Instead, he's like, well, how much can I get away with it?
A month ago, he was...
Again, I don't want to seem like very bad intentions, but it just kind of... I don't know, guys. This whole thing kind of rubs me the wrong way.
He's kicking around the idea of taking some of the money himself when the channel was monetized. So that's not even from, like, the personal donation link. That's from the channel being monetized.
You deserve to get coming out of your work,
if
but...
it got monetized... Well,
you also... Here's the thing, Shaggy. So, you deserve to get something out of your work, but you also chose a line of work that was already morally gray and questionable, and then the chance that you had to clarify and make things, you know, ethically, morally correct, you decided not to wait. So, you kind of did it to yourself at that point, you know? Like, you chose the line of work, you had every reason in every way to make things right, and you didn't do that.
It got monetized, according to him. So, like, it seems like that may have been something that he was actually exploring in his streams. He also has a personal donation link as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, now also, like, I don't want to call this into question, but, like, I guess I would like to see that Tiltify page and see that is going where it says it's going, right? I mean, Tiltify is directly, so I don't want to doubt that, but just something to throw out there. I'm sure Laura will be your sugar mama. Yeah, bro. I'm trying to walk. That's my goal. I want to have enough to pay for E&I.
Which is weird not to mention.
For both of our salaries. That's my goal as a creator.
Do you have one for charity and one for yourself then? I wrote that a while back when I made a community vote. Should have cleared it out. Haven't made money off ads. Is there 2 donation links in your stream though? I didn't see anything on that. Yes, I have a personal one that I barely ever mention that people can optionally donate to.
I mean, you're cooked, bro. As soon as you put that and said that to Charlie, that's a done deal, bro. GG's, wrap it up.
I feel like it's pretty obvious why you would barely mention that, man, considering a big part of the identity is that it was for a positive cause, which is something I highlighted too, about how I thought, and your community thought, you were donating all of this to charity. So you do have a personal donation through there as well, as Technolarp? I think it's pretty clear why you wouldn't mention that, because that's a very different look. The community wanted to donate to me personally, I only talked about it on stream. You don't see why that's an issue?
Even if you made $1, dude, that's a problem.
You don't see the
even if you made
I see the concerns
$6 or $7, that's still a problem.
So then why do it? I also wonder if he was paid for the sponsorship in the description for Minecraft server hosting. What? Server hosting by Prism Nodes. Use code LARP at checkout for 30% off of any purchase. That's in your most recent stream. That's under your personal donation link as well. Was that a sponsorship you took as Technolarp?
The whole ass the blue.
Prism Node gives us free server to host LARP.
I'm making the
Honestly, promoted them. I made nothing
he's killing it out here, vibe. He's making so much money. 1 gold to blue.
We have a code with them. That's affiliate marketing. You don't see anything from that? They said that I could get...
Yeah, I kind of want to know where the affiliate marketing goes. I mean, I doubt it's much, but I would still like to know.
20% off at each time it declines. Said if I did, I would go to the developers of this. It would go to the developers of the server. So I'll take your word for it. But again, you don't see how that's weird? That you are now doing business as Technolarp? Like, you keep saying that this is all just supposed to be in, like, good fun. They're just fun little videos to pay tribute to them. But you have a personal donation link. Your About section is entirely wrong about, like, the charity money, because the perception that I and everyone else had is that you are sending this money that you're making as Technolarp to charity, which is a positive thing. And you also are working with companies as Technolarp. I'll take your word for it that you didn't get paid for the affiliate marketing, that you declined it, so you did it for free to team up with them as Technolarp to promote them. But do you not...
You know what? One thing about Charlie is he typically is so patient with any kind of stuff like this, right? He's always very back and forth with the conversation. He allows you to talk. He's very fair, but I'll be honest, dude. I think this is a clear-cut case, especially after that donation link that was non-charity, right?
Like, it's not... You say you see the concerns, but, like, it should be pretty clear that this is very different than other LARP tubers. So, like... Again, you saying that people are, like, everyone's afraid now that I talked about Technolarp in a negative way. Like, again, that's not true. I think LARP tubing is totally fine.
Yeah, he's really not
very, very clearly different. We got a server, you can count that as payment. Also, didn't you just say that you haven't posted since earlier? You've streamed 2 times in the last 3 days. And not streamed after your video. But why would my video matter, man? This shouldn't be about what I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, Charlie's video literally doesn't matter. It's Technodad. Technodad is the one that matters, dude. Like, oh my god.
Like, it shouldn't have any effect on whether or not you stream because of my opinion. Like, the whole thing should be about how the people actually in Technoblade's life feel about what you're doing. And I think Technodad made it pretty clear how...
I mean... So I guess one thing to consider, right, is like, if Technolarp was raising money for a charity, he's making a difference, right, through somebody else's image, which, I mean, is morally problematic, but I think it kind of dilutes the morally gray part, right? It makes it look a lot better because you're doing something positive and you're helping other people with that. So, I mean, yeah, it's technically not an excuse, but it looks optically a lot better, right? Right, and again, I truly believe, Leader, I don't think this guy is, like, malicious. I just think he's mega misguided.
Comfortable it is. He didn't go live on his own, but he did a live stream with LARP Penguin 0. What, when, yesterday? You're right, that was yesterday. So you have been live after the video, too. That's not true, just it wasn't on your own account. Brother, like...
Technodad never gave explicit permission. He said, I don't know how I feel about this. It's kind of weird to me.
But the situation is that bad? You can talk about whatever you want, man, but your point was that you haven't done this since.
Yeah, we'll have to ask Penguin Larp about what he
every day since even this post.
Actually, I did see one of his comments.
The one that you say was like a joke. And you said that you haven't since I made my video. You have. Like, you can do that if you want, but why are you trying to pretend that you weren't or lying that you weren't? Like, you wanted me to find more context because you thought it makes you look better. It makes you look a lot worse, man.
It's exactly what I said at the start of the video. It makes you look worse, dude. It makes you look so much worse.
Then I've streamed LARP SMP 2 times since then. Okay. And you were wrong that you haven't gone live about it since my video too, man. It just wasn't on your channel. Like, I don't see the point in... I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Saying those things without knowing for sure if you have or have not been live in the last week. Or 24 hours. The persona is just...
I think it's just misrepresenting stuff, or he's taking, like, an extreme opinion of what's being typed, right? It's like, oh, well, Technodad joked about this, so it's okay that I do it. And it's like, no, like, he's giving an inch, and Technolarp is taking a mile.
It's my personality. Then why not just be you? Then why do it all as Technolarp?
Yeah, at that point, like, just be yourself.
It makes Technoblade's father uncomfortable. Why not just be inspired by him then?
Absolutely fair question here by Charlie. Very, very, very fair
what
question.
Technodad feels and what you think are not the same. We should not assume. So what do you think Technodad feels then? That's an interesting perspective. Do you think he's wrong to feel inconclusive on this? I'd like to hear
it's okay for Technodad to take time to want to know how he feels about something. Like, what? You can expect an instantaneous message from the guy, like, I forget how you might feel about your dead son and somebody LARPing about it. Like, that's not something that people figure out all of a sudden, right? Like, you need time to digest those feelings.
I think he feels a little overwhelmed and doesn't want to think about it at the moment. Did not get any negative or positive feel from it. That's so interesting. That's very convenient. So then, let's play with that. So he's overwhelmed and doesn't want to think about it, so you keep doing it in the meantime. So you don't think he feels positively or negatively, just overwhelmed. Which inherently is kind of a negative thing, to be overwhelmed. I'm still thinking about it all. When? While actively still doing it? I don't know, man. I think this is just very circular at this point. The missing context you were referring to, that you keep harping on, I don't think did you any favors, and the more I looked into it, the worse I feel like it got. I still don't think you're doing it maliciously. I think maybe you just don't want to wrestle with just how fucked up it is. And you've come so far already that you don't want
I think it got too deep into it, and it blew up into this thing, and now I don't think he knows how to deal with it.
Really look in the mirror
that's kind of my
really
thoughts.
See the other perspective. And you don't want to
I don't think so. It's not
the father
that
of someone who you clearly looked up to is being made uncomfortable by your actions, so you're spinning it in a way that helps you feel better about it. I think this reads very clearly
I mean, that might be the case.
It is for him. He even just point blank says, I've been putting this off for a while, I just don't know what to say to him.
Lenny.
That's not positive.
Give an inch and take a
and
mile.
You even say he's probably overwhelmed. That's a negative thing, man. And it is very tricky for him in particular because you have a very successful community, or a very successful YouTube channel now with a community that has been constantly badgering this man about it to the point that he did also make a post about how much it's coming up. And he doesn't want to, like, make enemies. This is a good guy. But I think if anyone...
Yeah, he's just a dad, you know? Like, he's still probably grieving for his son every day. I mean, yes, it's been years, but, you know, you're part of a community and things have evolved so much and so many people cared about Technoblade. I mean, Technodad is literally a pillar now in Minecraft community. You know what I mean? Like, he's a big deal. But I think for you to sit there and know that you're doing this and people are gonna badger him about it, you have to come to an understanding that this is just a regular dude that probably never asked for any of this. You know?
One can look at this and see just how uncomfortable he is with this. Like, I don't think it's hard to see. We've raised over 3K for charity, and way more than I ever gained. However you spin it, that's a net positive for this situation. It's kind of shifting it, but alright. You also do just say outright that you are making on a personal level. It's just not to the level that's going to charity. Which, again, I don't think most people that are watching you knew. To be clear, 3K to charity I think is great. I think that's wonderful to be fundraising and giving it to a good cause. He does, however, say that he is making money himself through this too, just not as much that's going to charity. I don't know what that number looks like or anything, the difference between them, but everyone, or at least I would say most people that watch your content and are defending you, believe that you aren't making anything through this. You are doing this solely as a
that's the
big
misconception ultimately in this entire situation.
And while you are benefiting a charity, 3K to charity is great. you also are financially gaining on a personal level too, which I think changes things quite a bit. At least to me it does, because it's not something that's well known about Technolarp. And as you said in the stream, it's not something you talk about often. I think it's something that's pretty important to mention. Now, of course, you're not forcing it on anyone, which is good.
It is very weird that particular part seems kind of like hidden. It just makes me question intention overall, right? Why was that part never mentioned, you know?
Doing something like that either. But when the whole narrative around what you're doing has fallen onto the defense of, yeah, but he's doing it for charity, this kind of thing, it is a different spin there, because there is a portion of it that's for charity, but you yourself are also gaining personally. I feel like you should see why that's a big deal, because you are impersonating a beloved YouTuber, and you never got permission for it. I compared it in the last video to like how AI will oftentimes, you know, make content off of a passed away celebrity for their own self gain without permission from like the family or anyone.
Hey, tell me what's
done something similar now. I think
it's
even
the Technolarp situation.
Comparison.
How are you?
In the last video, I said the comparison would be like you are gaining a like successful YouTube channel, which is a big deal, but at least you're not like making money personally from it. But now, turns out you are. So it is even closer to that AI comparison, I believe, because you never got permission to do that. And in a case like this, as I think you recognize, that is important to see how the family feels, to see if they're okay with that.
I mean, technically, yes, Technolarp is allowed to do whatever he wants, right? I think that, you know, technically it is your own original content, right?
Money.
Yeah. I mean, technically you are allowed to create this content, do whatever you want, right? But when you're using somebody else's image as like a launch pad, right? There's just a lot of moral conundrum that comes up. And I think that you want to do it as ethically as possible. And then when you misrepresent where money is going or how you're taking it, well, there it is, you know?
And you just took their silence as consent for you to continue to do this.
Exactly.
And even when TechnoDad did make a statement that clearly expressed his feelings on this being very conflicted, you still continued
the message
to stream
here was to
as Technolarp. Even though you said you hadn't done it
not
since,
take private money.
It is provable that you have. Anyway, that was the extent of our conversation. I was very surprised that it even happened in the first place. I'm very surprised that this has even been like a big deal with the way I feel on it, because it's just my perspective on it. That's it. I don't like it, and I explained why.
It's not like
to want me to dig deeper into it.
I might blow your mind with this one, Chad, but it's not like Charlie's opinion is the end-all be-all of opinions. You know, like Charlie can tell you what he feels, but that doesn't mean that that's it, you know? Like, it's okay to have other stuff, you know what I mean? Like, it's okay to listen to other people. Like, Charlie's one thought process isn't just, you know, God himself speaking from the sky.
Things in there that I like even less that I didn't know about
I feel
before
like that's
is
how,
a pretty interesting strategy, and I don't really understand it.
This is being treated, right, with
And I
Technolarp.
don't know why my opinion on it mattered more than TechnoDad's opinion on it to Technolarp. I don't get that. That should have been the main focus is Technoblade's family okay with it? How do they feel? It should not matter at all how I fucking feel about it. I'm just some fucking Cro-Magnon man. Who cares? Now, I do want to reiterate, because my feelings on this haven't changed either. I really don't think that this is a bad guy. I really don't. I truly think this is someone.
Jesus. Oh, my bad.
Just
never
really
mind. I forgot he's Jesus. My bad.
Basically overnight success and has grown a very big YouTube channel off rip, just hitting the ground running.
Yeah, I mean, obviously people like this stuff, right? They're into
conversations that are being had around it that he just doesn't really want to partake in good faith, or like really think too deeply on. And
again, I think this is the ultimate case of you give an inch and you take a mile. This is like the main thing I'm pulling from this guy.
As he said in the stream, he's still thinking on it too. So anyway, I don't think this is like some malicious, evil, bad actor, but it is still a fucked up situation. Weird. So anyway, I mean, that's really about it. I've made this very clear throughout the almost 2 decades I've been on here, but don't ever fucking harass or go out of your way to be some insufferable asshole to someone that I yap about and just talk about. I've made that clear, but maybe it was worth a reminder here. Don't do that. Anyway, that's really about it. So yeah.
Well, that's really about it. Yeah. I love Charlie. So, of course, here's the Technolarp situation. Obviously, Charlie talked to Technolarp live on stream. Well, TechnoDad did actually go on to defend, Technolarp, but only about the doxing and receiving threats. He said, "Hey, that's not okay. That's messed up." So obviously, there were threats of doxing, etc. Technoblade's dad said, that's not cool, dude. Which we assumed, right? However, chat, we did finally get an answer from Technodad. And Technodad made his decision. He asked Technolarp to stop. To please stop LARPing as my son after being temporarily banned for impersonation. He said he will return to his original persona called Striker. So that is right. Technolarp is technically done now. Technodad said, don't do that. I'm not okay with it. And that's it. So here is the full message coming from Technodad. Take a look. Technodad says, a message concerning Technoblade. Hi everybody, Technodad here. 4 years ago, my son Alex, known to many as Technoblade, passed away from sarcoma. His community remains one of the most meaningful parts of the legacy left behind. You still make art, videos, jokes, and tributes. You look after each other. Together we built a long and inclusive community. It's more than can ever be properly said. Tributes are welcome and always will be. Fan art, cosplay, quotes, and creative works. Painted his memory, always celebrating him, and those works speak to my heart. They speak to all of our hearts. I've recently become aware of concerns around a YouTube channel imitating Technoblade's voice, mannerisms, look, name, and persona. When this was first brought to me by one of Alex's YouTube friends, I was under the impression it might be a one-time tribute. I did not know what to think. It was startling and emotionally complex to be presented with, and when people asked me about it at that time, the only answer I had was inconclusive. However, this has continued for several weeks, and it is now clear that an identity is being built as an ongoing public persona. That is a different thing from a tribute. I agree. Many others have reached out for my opinion. This situation is complicated by simple truth. Despite being Technodad, I cannot speak unilaterally on behalf of all of Access family, friends, and fans, who no doubt have a variety of reactions. But after careful consideration, I've reached a conclusion. I can give my own perspective as Technoblade's father, and as a person Alex entrusted to look after what he left behind. I'm asking for this to please stop, and for the person in question to cease. No blessing or permission for this, or any similar persona now or in the future has been given. I encourage anyone interested in becoming a content creator to find their own voice, so as you are. A sincere presentation of your authentic self will always be better than an imitation of somebody else. I'm always also asking the community not to harass anybody over this. It's not what Alex would have wanted. I do not believe this was malicious intent. Technoblade never dies. He is in his videos right where he left himself, still making us laugh, still reaching our hearts. Mr. Technodad. So as you can see here, guys, Technolarp has again changed his name to Striker. He went on to make a video about how he is, at the end of Technolarp. Technolarp is done, but Technolarp says, Technodad's final answer to all in summary was to stop the Technoblade persona. There'll be a video out soon showing everyone what will happen in his channel. We should all soon respect his answer, because I sure do, and honestly, I'm relieved. So, one good thing that I'm happy about this is Technolarp got Technodad's answer, and he said, you know what? I will respect it and take action. So that is honestly a W. I was a little tiny bit worried that he was going to keep doing it, just a little bit. But let's go take a look at what Technolarp ultimately had to say, guys.
So it's finally happened. Technodad gave the response. As you can see, I'm in my normal skin with my normal name, and I'll explain why. Technodad's response, I'm sure you've all seen it. I'll put the Reddit post in the link in the description. It's to quit the Technoblade persona, which honestly, I'm really relieved that I even got an answer. I didn't really mind if it was yes or no. I respected any decision, right? So the answer was to stop the Technoblade persona or anything
just
similar
a good
to
ending
it.
on this
Now,
one.
I can't really change how I sound, my voice, because it's my normal voice, but I can definitely take off the skin. I can change the name. The name of this channel is Technolarp at the moment, but I don't know, maybe tomorrow I'm gonna change it to Striker MC or something, and I want to explain everything about that. A lot of you have been telling me that you want me to just be myself and make videos in my own personality, which I think is a really good idea. This could just be
I mean, honestly, guys, look, think about it this way. This guy, yes, he LARPed his Technoblade, but legitimately, underneath the hood, right, if you dig into that, he grew over 200,000 subscribers, right, guys? So, at the end of the day, he's got talent somewhere underneath there, right? And I think he just needs to explore his own talent instead of trying to pretend to be somebody else. Comments here, it says Striker sometimes rebrands. Oh, here's the LARP, Charlie. Thank you for respecting Technodad's decision. Good luck, strikers. So, that is really nice to see.
Because as some of you know, I have another YouTube channel, but it's just like horror game content. But with that being said, there's going to be hate on anything that I do at this point. And one of the things that's going to be brought up is I am taking the Technolarp viewers and turning it into my personal gain, which I believe that to be wrong. So I wanted to say that if you guys are only here for the Technoblade persona, like the Technoblade stuff, I highly advise that you unsubscribe. I mean, it's up to the viewer at the end of the day. I won't force you to unsubscribe. I won't say you need to keep watching the content. I don't really think that's up to me. I think that if you like who I am as a person and you like the future videos that are coming out, then go ahead, you can watch them.
We're obviously not going to watch the whole channel update because it's 16 minutes long. I did want to show you the beginning. Obviously, he says, hey, unsubscribe if you're here for just Technoblade LARPing. I'm going to be doing my own thing now. Yeah, just watch the old Technoblade videos, exactly. Like, support his dad, because I'm sure his dad is, getting that Google AdSense money. But I will say this is a good ending, ultimately, guys. I'm going to keep an eye on this. I kind of wanted to cover it when we got more of a concrete response. Well, this literally happened pretty recently, so happy to see the good ending on this. Was a tiny bit worried we might do the wrong thing, but looks like everything ended up okay, guys. So there it is. How do y'all feel about this? What's your thoughts about it? I would love to know. Let me know in the comments, all that kind of stuff in chat. Always interested to see what you guys have to say. In other news, guys, Markiplier is a fucking cheater? Question mark, maybe allegation. This isn't clickbait. What's going on? That is right, guys. Markiplier has been accused of being a cheater, guys. He's a cheater, pumpkin eater. Well, at least in Fnaf number 2. That's right, guys. Well, 8 months ago, I actually watched this video. It was very interesting. 8 months ago, the Bones 5 released a video called Did Markiplier Cheat in His Fnaf 2? 10-20 win. Full technical analysis. And what I will tell you guys in this video, he alleges that Markiplier cheated in his 10-20 run of Fnaf. That's right. The cheat-aplier is real. Oh my God, question mark. Guys, I'll be honest. Look, this is literally like, don't take this too seriously. This is actually fucking funny. Like, to me, this is a whole ass meme because, yes, I think that this video analysis was obviously very lighthearted and upbeat. If you watch it, we're not going to watch the full thing, right? But if you watch this full video, it's very lighthearted. He's like, oh, hey, Markiplier. I just think it's very interesting to look in the technical analysis of Fnaf 2. But there are some things that happened with Markiplier that I want to show you in this video really quick.
Cheating on Blue Archive.
Yeah, right, exactly. So take a look here, guys. A little bit of the explanation as to the mechanics of this game and why he believes Markiplier cheated. Now, obviously, this is nothing to get upset about Markiplier. Really, it's kind of just funny. Obviously, his videos for entertainment. This was like over a decade ago almost that he played Fnaf 2. But there is more to the story than meets the eye, guys. It's like Transformers. So take a look at this part.
During this interval, it works in Mark's favor when calculating the odds, as she doesn't need to fail a movement.
Calculating the odds of a character appearing in the vents.
Here to stay in camera 6.
Or vice versa.
This leaves 3 possible paths in which Mangle can move after she fails the first movement opportunity. She could not move on both intervals. She could not move. Then
Where's
move
Carl
the
Jobs
vent,
when you need him?
Yeah, right.
And then not move.
I hope Carl makes like a facetious video about this. It'd be awesome.
All 3 of these events can satisfy this condition.
But it's really funny if you don't know as well. People have noticed this thing about the stars for a long time, and they've kind of poked at Markiplier about it over the years. So it's really funny that through all of this time, we're finally getting an answer to this, so much later, many, many years later.
We compute the probabilities of each one, then add them together. Now, we multiply that with the odds of Balloon Boy failing all 3 of his movements, which comes out in total to 13 over 4,096. This is a low chance, but it's still possible to happen. Though, if we consider any case where Mangle isn't starting in camera 2, the odds get dramatically worse, instead resulting in 1 in 16,384. But remember, this is only factoring in 2 animatronics. There were no sightings of any toy animatronics across this entire clip.
So so again, they're looking at a clip, and he's like, well, the chances of this stuff appearing didn't look correct. And so he goes on to talk about how astronomically low that percentage actually is, you know, showing you the math for it. So either Markiplier got stupid lucky or he thinks he cheated.
We only saw the original 4. That's right, we only saw the original 4 animatronics. Come to think of it, why did Markiplier react so hard when he saw the 3rd star in the menu? You get that from 420 mode, not 1020 mode. Ooh, shit. If we circle all the way back to when we were first talking about why this run was suspicious, it was because of the cut after Markiplier beat it, cutting from the menu to the Golden Freddy custom night screen. Why didn't he just go straight to the custom night menu all in one clip? Because his winning run wasn't performed on 1020 mode, it was performed on 420 mode. Doesn't it make a lot of sense? We don't see any toy animatronics in the entire clip, and the odds of Mangle and Balloon Boy being in positions where they can't be heard or seen are very, very low.
The chat, as you can see, and this might have been an editing error, right? This might have been, I'm sure he recorded his face cam and the footage separately. Could have been an editing error, etc., right? But, you know, in this video, this guy does a huge breakdown on why he think, you know, Markiplier ultimately cheated or whatever was misrepresented. Again, this isn't that big of a deal, but it's so funny to the point that Markiplier actually decided to legitimately address what happened 2 days ago. That is right, guys. From his original videos of him doing this, right? How many ever years ago? And then we have this video that came out 8 months ago with millions of views. Markiplier has actually addressed what happened. And I think this is the funniest shit in the entire world. Legitimately, like, the fact that he went back and started playing Fnaf 2, Markiplier's redemption. It's hilarious to me, guys. Look here at the description of the video. Sorry, I had to move my my leg. It's time to face the allegations, and it all starts by beating Five Nights at Freddy's 2. For real, this is actually the funniest shit in the world. That somebody thinks that, yeah, like he cheated. Which, I mean, maybe he did, maybe he didn't, right? But he's like, oh, I gotta face the allegations. So now he went back to start streaming Fnaf 2 years later, dude. This is the funniest shit to me in the entire world. Well, Markiplier did actually address a bit of this drama about the cheating and the Fnaf 2 allegations. And here is that video, of course, that we just take a look at. But here was what Markiplier ultimately had to say about it.
All right. Wait,
actually, I'm gonna
do that.
I'm bringing it over here.
Wait, I'm gonna do that. There we go. No, not that.
I remember what happened. I remember what happened. I remember it. What happened is what just happened.
Okay, no. This is not absolving it in any way, because obviously I still tried to play it off, right? What happened was what you just saw.
The truth, chat, the truth.
At some point, I remember this. Okay. What happened was, at some point it reset, or I got a minigame that got out of there, and then this is here, right? And what happened was, I played this mode instead of this mode and beat it.
Right,
and was
right.
genuinely excited about it. That's what happened. And then, when I got to the edit phase, I saw what I had done, and I was so done with the game, I was like, fuck it. I'm just gonna pretend.
He cheated, chat. He's a cheater. You got it right there. It's right on the screen, guys. He's a fucking cheater. Cheater, pumpkin eater. I can't believe that Markiplier did legitimately beat 420, 1020 mode. Oh my god, I can't believe it, chat. This is the worst day of my life. It's so sad. Can we get 5 gifted subs? How dare you lie to me, Markiplier? I can't believe this. He's a faker. A faker. This is so fucking funny, dude. Years later, he's like, oh yeah, no, fuck. I thought I did it. And I finished my edit. Damn, dude. So now he's going back and actually legitimately doing it. Fucking how many years later, dude? This is amazing. I love this.
I remember. That's what happened. I genuinely thought when I won that I actually won this mode. But again, does not absolve it. Does not absolve it in any way. It had actually been 12 hours. It had been 12 hours at that point. And I was so tired, and I was so done, and I was so frustrated that I...
Yeah, this is your idol? This is the man you idolize?
Now Carl Jobs needs to make a video, there's just no choice.
That's what I think would be really funny.
Eve, I accidentally tabbed too far. Hit this mode.
That is so
and then
fucking
played
funny.
it off like I played this mode.
And then the other guy feels so vindicated because it's like, the math is mathing.
Because I was so done. And up until that point, I had gotten to like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. I think maybe I had even gotten to like 5 a.m.
What a
so
scandal.
I believed I was close. And then I thought I got really lucky with like, holy shit, it's being so nice to me. And then I played it off. And the kicker is, I remember what it was. I remember what happened before that.
Years of people wondering.
What happened was...
Years of people wondering.
When I got here or there or somewhere else. Somewhere here. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, you just kind of misclicked.
But I believe there used to not be 3 stars when you beat that mode. Wait, no. What am I... There's something where it used to not be that way. And Scott covered for me. Scott covered for me, and he patched in either an extra star here, or...
You're telling me the creator of the fucking game covered this up for fucking Markiplier Scott? Like, updated it, and it ended up... corroborating a story? That's crazy. That's crazy. I love this. Sometimes I love this crazy shit like this happening coincidentally. That's amazing. Fnaf gate is real.
No, it must have been. That must have always been.
Fnaf gate.
There was something, right? There was something about that. Scott added something. He added something in here to help
love this.
Cover for me. And that's what it was. I remember. No, I'm not pleading my case. This is what happened.
Yeah, so somebody had to tell me in the comments what exactly that was, but I love this. Some of the conspiracy theories like, yes.
At this point, like I said, this is 12
I got it, I knew it.
Yeah, 12 years ago now. This is before.
12 years ago, guys. 12 years ago.
Watch this. This is before I met Amy. Boom. Case rested. I'm a different guy now. This is before I even met my wife. This is, and guess what?
After 12. I mean, not 12 years.
She made him a better man. She made him an actual gamer.
Coming up on 11 years. This is before.
Amy turned him into a gamer. Oh, thank God.
Rescued me from the bad man, boy, I was, to turn me
I can't believe it.
To the good man I am now. That's
thank God. Thank God. See, I can look up to a Fnaf cheater.
You can't even be mad at me. You can't even possibly be mad with me. So, Amy fixed me. It's true. That's the way it was. Love changed me from the evil scum that I was.
The evil scum.
The evil.
How dare you lie to me about your false victory, Markiplier? You're the bottom of the barrel, you scum. That is insane. Yeah, Fnaf game was not on my list of things. for the big 2026, but here we are, guys. Holy shit.
Oh.
I don't understand why people aren't talking about this more. This is so funny. Like, it's just so non-serious, you know?
Amy, for me,
the epitome of
being
non-serious,
here right
guys.
now and finally able to redeem myself. Yes, this is my redemption arc, and through the power of love and a modicum of sponsorship from GoPro, use code Markiplier, I will be able to conquer this challenge.
We gotta have the sponsor,
sure
guys.
That's what happened. Now
we gotta have the sponsorship. That's what changes it all. Oh my god.
now I'm not sure. Is that what happened? I have no idea. Maybe I didn't cheat at all.
See, this is my favorite part, Zin. It's like, I don't think people are legitimately hating on him. I think it's just, it's so funny, right? Like, people have kind of wondered for a long time about the 3 stars, right? It's kind of been something that poked at him forever. And then, obviously, there was this video made by Bones that came out 8 months ago. And it just kind of, you know, made such an explosion that Markiplier decided he had to go back and do it. It's just, it's funny. It's not even, it's so non-serious, you know?
Fact.
That's why
I'm
it's
actually
great.
thinking now that that wasn't the case, and I won legitimately, and Scott recognized my efforts, and I didn't cheat, and I edited in the star or something like that myself, and he was like, whoa, that's a good idea. Oversight on my part, I better update the game so that it reflects his accomplishment.
Exactly, yeah, that's how you do it right there.
Yeah. Yep, okay.
Thank God. Bro, that is so funny.
Yes. That is what it is. I think I remember that now. Yeah, actually, now that I'm remembering that properly, yes, okay, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, disregard everything I said for the other, 7 minutes of the video.
Absolutely.
Dude, this is the kind of drama, like, I don't even call this drama, right? This is the kind of stuff that I like to cover because it's just fucking funny. It's fun. It's not that serious. It's like the tiniest little thing, and of course it just involves Markiplier, so it's just like, it's like not even a big deal. I like this kind of news. This is the stuff that I like to report on. But that's what's been going on with Markiplier, guys. Fnaf gate is real. How do y'all feel about it? Yeah, it's just funny, dude. It's funny after all of this time. Let me know how you feel about it, guys. I think it's great. A little bit of a palate cleanser before we continue, guys. I'm gonna do a little bit of memes before we finish up our content creator news. But Mark Hamill's original lightsaber just sold at auction for $3.75 million. Holy fuck, dude. That is a lot of fucking money for a fucking lightsaber, dude. Holy, that's crazy. Everybody take a moment to say happy birthday to Mooding. Oh my gosh, Mooding. It's their birthday for their second birthday. Yippee! Oh, so cute. Mooding got lots of yummy fruits and vegetables for their second birthday. We love Mooding around here. Maybe not as much as Chibidoki, but we do love Mooding. Mooding fan. Love it. In other news, guys, Disney has invited a very special guest out to the Disney parks. And you're gonna love this, I promise. That's right, the official Disney Parks account decided to partner with the 6'7" kid and invited him to Magic Kingdom to teach Mickey and the gang how to do the 6'7".
At Disney World, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put your hands like this, and you go up and down. No, perfect. That's perfection.
It's never over.
All right, thank you guys, but it took like 6 or 7 months to reach out to me. All right, what's up, guys? We're at Disney.
You're like, life's over, bro. Just wrap it up. Wrap it up, dude. I love it. I think it's so funny. You know what's better, though? In other news, the viral horse, Skibbity Riz, has won a race in Ohio. You cannot make this shit up. A racehorse named Skibbity Riz won a race in Ohio. You can't make this up. The brain rot thoroughbred is now 2 wins in an 18 career start. You can't make this up, dude. You can't make this up. Like, and also, guys, Skibbity Riz just won 2 races in a row in Cleveland, Ohio. That's right. Skibidi Riz is on a fucking win streak out here. This is actually on the 13th. Let's go, Skibidi Riz! Yeah, baby! Redeeming Ohio as a whole, one race at a time. Now, guys, I don't know if any of y'all collect any collectibles or Pokemon cards or things like that, but sadly, guys, bringing it to the point of scalping and grading becoming absolutely fucking ridiculous. And this one I gotta talk about is probably the most, I don't even know what to fucking say about it, but people are now grading Beyblades. Are you fucking serious, dude? Why? What? Why? Why? We don't need this. Stop grading random shit, dude. Everybody's like, my Beyblade stocks are going through the roof. We don't need this, dude. Please stop, please. No, it's relatively new. I hate it here. I hate it here so much. In other news, guys, did you know that Olive Garden actually just released the never-ending pasta pass for the first time in 6 years? $100 pass gives you
WTF.
$100 gives customers unlimited pasta dishes for 13 weeks with no limit on visits. Guys, this absolutely blew the fuck up. People were getting in line. Even Exoverse said I had no access to Discord for 2 hours because I wanted unlimited pasta wait for me. Well, there were 6,000 people queued up ahead of him. No, it's an insanely good deal, Sugar Lily, to the point that they actually limited the release, and all 10,000 never-ending pasta passes have been sold out. EXO had 6,000 people in line ahead of him. That is nuts. People go crazy for this shit. Like, they wanted the fucking pasta pass. I mean, it is actually a really, really good deal, but getting it seemed to be next to impossible. Holy shit. Now, I know we talked about the Skibidi Horse, but I do want to talk about Skibidi Toilet. Not for the reason you think I am. That is because Bob by Mike has actually offered to help the Skibidi Toilet creator Boom amid the Let Boom Speak movement. If you don't know what's going on, basically, guys, the creator of the Skibidi Toilet channel has basically not been able to talk or post his own stuff because the channel has effectively been taken over control by the same management group that is running this Skibidi Toilet movie. So he literally can't do anything. The original creator of the channel basically lost his channel to that management team. Yeah, this is where the Skibidi meme came from. Of course, Law by Mike says, no one can help you, or no one can keep you from talking to a lawyer. Reach out to me. We can see if there's a legal way to help. Yeah, there's a movie coming. It's been a whole thing, guys. A whole debacle I've talked about a little bit before, but at least somebody's trying to reach out to help him. My God. Very nuts. In other news, guys, Syndicate actually said that he's had nearly 3,000 YouTube videos have been copyrighted claimed after his outro songs were sold. So the rights to his outro songs were sold. And of course, YouTube is, our various people are now copyright claiming over 3,000 videos of that. He says he had the rights to the music for years, but all of a sudden, they're being stricken. So another huge L for YouTube. He has 3,000 YouTube videos, guys. That is insane. That is insane. I haven't seen Syndicate in a long time either. Now, guys, imagine a timeline where, Elon Musk did not buy Twitter. Imagine that timeline, guys. The timeline almost actually went to, our Lord and Savior, Mickey Mouse. That is right, guys. Bob Iger actually recently talked about how Disney was very close to once acquiring Twitter at a very attractive price. The plan was to transform Twitter into a global distribution platform for Disney. Iger ultimately backed out on the morning of the deal, saying it feared it would become a horrible distraction. Yeah, I don't know if that would have been better or worse. I'm going to be so real, but I just found this interesting, so I wanted to share with you. In other news, guys, Russian Badger have been going to bat for creators recently. Of course, you've seen all these crazy copyright strikes going on. You can see one right here. Well, Russian Badger actually is trying to help these smaller content creators with these false copyright strikes. Let's take a look at what he had to say.
Several smaller creators are being abused by your copyright system and are at risk of having their channels deleted and have asked me for help. A German company called Fifth Freedom GmbH is
Badger
copyright
is
striking videos for music called Radio Cultural Rendezvous when there isn't even any music in the video. Dozens of original videos all struck when there is zero copyrighted content in them.
And guys, I will tell you, I have this problem all the time. I had a JonTron video that was like, oh, you can't monetize this. And I'm like, why? Like, oh, it's copyright claim. So then I push back on it. Literally 10 minutes after I push in a claim, they're like, yeah, we released it. I'm like, y'all are just doing this falsely. Like, you know you don't own the rights to it. You're just LARPing that you're like, you own the rights. It's crazy.
I can't even list the channels because doxing them would mean this company could target them with more strikes and have their channels deleted. Appeal/counterclaims do not work because they just send more strikes, and these smaller creators have tried every possible support channel with no real response. An AI chatbot DMing me a self-help article is not helping. Can I please get a DM or an email from a real human being to help these people out?
It's really, yeah, it's so commonplace. Many people don't know the system, get scared out of defending themselves. Exactly, and they're counting on that because technically you have to dox yourself. I mean, I probably have like 10 companies now that know my personal information because I've had to push back on so much stuff, but that's the way it is. So really a huge W for Russian Badger stepping up. In other news, guys, Johnny Somali update. Johnny Somali actually lost his appeal in South Korea as the court upheld its 6-month prison sentence with labor. So he does have to serve out that 6 months. The appeal is donezo. However, prosecutors did push for a 3-year sentence, and that appeal was rejected. So he will not be serving out that 3-year. Instead, it is locked in at a 6-year as of right now, guys. Yeah, as of right now. In other news, this is kind of a bit of an interesting case, and I know you're looking at the screen and you're like, what the fuck? Because you probably know Tung Tung. For her, it's a big brain rot meme. You don't know, but this is actually straight up legitimately a big deal because this viral brain rot meme is now at the center of a federal custody battle over brain rot characters. The creators of Steal a Brain Rot are asking court to rule that this Meme Lab can't copyright claim control over the viral meme. Well, again, this is just, he's literally just like an AI meme, essentially like an AI brain rot meme, but they're asking to rule that the courts cannot claim copyright over this character. So very interesting to kind of see AI stuff kind of pop up. The rulings for this kind of being fighted if copywriting is okay for this. I think there was already one big case where copywriting for AI stuff was not supported. You can't copyright AI, generative AI stuff. Kind of interesting. However, guys, in other news, you might have heard about this. I'm a little late to it, but the Kids Act has actually passed, guys. The House overwhelmingly voted to pass the Kids Act, a bipartisan bill to protect our children online and finally rein in big tech, allegedly, right? Well, yeah, I'm going to hear a lot of boos, I'm sure, because contrary to the claim that the Kids Act will rein in big tech, another ID verification bills are being lobbied by Meta and Facebook. Such bills raise privacy risks and may require users give private information. At this point now, it is now going to head to the Senate, where, of course, there can be hurdles and things like that related to it. But I'm going to give you I'm going to explain them and I'm going to tell you the issue with this bill, basically.
This is a bill to protect kids online, but could put your children's private information at risk.
Sophia Jernander joins us now to break down this issue. Sophia.
Mike and Rachel, the Kids Internet and Digital Safety Act has faced an uphill battle. Some people are voicing concerns about ID verification requirements that they say would put children's privacy at risk.
I've seen a lot on the internet, so I know how
the city hated him before it passed.
I think millions of American teenagers believe
I think everybody
that
probably
social
hates
media
this.
is dangerous
Once I tell you
for
the
kids.
real problem,
the U.S. government has spent years trying to address this problem, and now the Kids Internet and Digital Safety Act, or KIDS Act, is one step closer to becoming law.
I think it's a good idea.
We sure are guilty.
Me
We sure are.
I think I'm responsible enough.
Yeah, no, I agree. Shirley, you were taking the words out of my mouth. I've said before. The problem is not this stuff being out there. The problem is the parents not being parents. That is the issue.
Know what to do on social media.
Parents don't want to be parents and actually monitor
the Kids
their
Act
children.
would require social media platforms to put guidelines in place when they know a minor is using their platform.
The platforms cannot do anything to.
I think there is legitimate concerns about certain stuff. Don't get me wrong. I mean, look at Roblox, right? The Predator situations with that. I think there are legitimate concerns, but some of this stuff is such, again, a privacy issue. There's got to be a way in between. There's got to be a way that both sides can win.
Suicide.
But how would social media platforms know that minors are seeing their content? For some platforms, it could require ID verification. Molly is 17, so this would affect her.
That's not too safe, but the idea is there. I think there could be a better approach, maybe.
Bill Ramsey says that in the event a website gets hacked, this could put children's
when you're
privacy
18, you
and
can use
personal
social media.
details
Wrap it
at
up.
risk.
Thanks for playing.
Subject to that
You know, like.
And if they get breached, then you get breached.
And he adds that U.S. lawmakers are close to finding the right solution, but he doesn't believe ID verification is the right way to go.
Technology is here.
I agree.
It's not going anywhere, and it's going to get more and more ramped up as we go on. They're looking at things one way, and they're fighting the technology instead of finding ways to work with it and adapt.
This bill now heads to the U.S. Senate. I reached out to Senators Marshall and Moran to ask them how they will vote, but have not yet heard back.
Hello? Like, you want to fucking turn on music? Like, okay, well, apparently my music just fucking died, but what I wanted to tell you guys was a few things about this, right? So primary concerns about the legislation. Obviously, the age verification and privacy risks. So to avoid heavy liability, platforms will be pressured to determine if users are minors as they send the video, right? This incentivizes companies to require government-issued IDs, driver's license, or facial scans for all users, right? Obviously, I think for a lot of you, that's kind of problematic. I don't think everybody wants to upload their Face ID into everything, right? So I can definitely see why you might have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. This is creating a very big database of sensitive personal information, which are already extremely vulnerable to hackers. We've already seen multiple times where this private information has already been leaked out, hacked, etc. I mean, look at the whole Discord stuff, right? It's a bad idea for that as well. But that's not even talking about free speech, right? This allows federal agencies to shape moderation policies. You know, people are criticizing that can lead to over-censorship, can restrict minors' access to educational topics, and of course violates First Amendment rights. So this is definitely quite a big deal, guys. I hope that you'll be paying more attention to this. Again, this does have to head to the Senate where, you know, it has to be passed, but we'll see what happens, guys. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I know I mentioned Discord, and I wanted to bring this up to you as well, because this is kind of nuts. Right. Yeah, of course, Walk. Kind of crazy, guys, but there's actually recently a vulnerability in Discord's AI moderation that actually was banning people. That is right, guys. There were people that were getting banned from Discord's AI moderation. I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, we can, you know, trust the system a little bit, which I think to a point is right. But also, like, Discord said this weekend, our safety system incorrectly triggered and banned around 200 accounts. Everyone affected has been reinstated, which I mean is good, right? That's great that everybody got reinstated, but why did that happen? You know, users report being suspended for child safety violations, despite Discord's claim all affected users and accounts were reinstated. So that's obviously a pretty bad look when your AI thing is just banning people here and there, right? However, we do have advocates who went on to say this is misinformation. This has nothing to do with AI. There were some false positive matches. The bans are only temporary until they are manually reviewed. So if some people did not get reinstated, that means that this was manually reviewed and it was banned, right? So I'll definitely be keeping an eye on Discord stuff. I don't know. I just don't really trust them with everything that's been going on recently. So yeah, keep looking. Yeah, it seems like maybe there's a coding error. In other news, guys, security researchers have warned that attacks are using Steam Workshop to spread malware through wallpaper engine wallpapers. Guys, I actually had a friend that fell to this, unfortunately, but People are uploading fake wallpapers into applications, and they run programs on your PC, installs malware, steals your account, collects personal information, all this kind of stuff. So be careful if you have wallpaper engine. I uninstalled it because I was kind of worried about this, and I had a friend that, again, kind of fell to a bit of this misinformation as well. Another news, guys, kind of weird, not surprising, but Mr. Beast recently revealed within an interview that he actually was planting GoPros in Walmarts to watch how people were destroying his chocolate bars for, the Mr. Beast bars. I think it's kind of crazy. Voided Intern says Mr. Beast secretly planted hidden GoPros inside Walmarts across America to figure out why his chocolate bars kept breaking, right? Some people are like, what? Some people find that weird. Some people find that invasive to privacy. But anyway, I'll let Mr. Beast tell it. Yeah, it's kind of just odd to me.
Who noticed that?
Well, me. And the thing is, this is an old team in festivals. I would tell them, like, there's too many broken bars. When I go into Walmart, I'm seeing too many that are broken. They told me, like, you're worrying about this too much. It's not that big of an issue.
Really
it happens
sucks.
to everyone. And I got to the point where it was just fucking pissing me off because I hated, like, grabbing a bar off the ground or seeing on the shelf all these, like, shattered chocolate bars that I put, like, I paid people to put GoPros in, like, a bag of Lay's chips pointed at, because I tried to get Walmart to give me the security camera footage and they wouldn't. So I put hidden GoPros in a bunch of random Walmarts just to point it at the festival bars.
That's actually just so weird, dude. Like,
there's so many shots of, like, like a mom grabbing a bar, and then she'd be looking at it literally like this, and then you just see the box just go, and and they would just fall off the shelf, and then they just put it up, and some of the bars would be broken, and it would just happen over and over and over again because we didn't engineer the boxes correctly. They didn't do anything wrong.
Do you know how atypical that is, what you've just said? That you put GoPros.
Yes.
Yeah, people told me I was crazy. The amount of people who tried to tell me that was illegal, I was like, bro, I don't fucking care. I just need to know when my bars are breaking. Like, I'll delete the footage. And so I did a bunch of just data, and so there's a company called Acosta where you can pay people to go into Walmart. So then I started paying where every week I would send someone into every single Walmart in America to buy all the broken bars.
Dude, he did everything for these fucking chocolate bars. Like, it's just, I don't know. I guess when I, like, saw this, I was like, this is just really weird. But also kind of interesting, like, for how much effort he went through for quality assurance. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they're not even that good, but I don't know. Thought I would share it with you, get your thoughts on it. I think it was a little weird. In other news, guys, Ethan Klein actually recently dropped another lawsuit. This one against Noah Sampson. Sampson says he rejected settlement terms, demanding an apology, 6 deleted videos, and a ban on criticizing Klein. But yeah, Ethan dropped that defamation lawsuit against Noah Sampson. So yeah, how many lawsuits does Ethan Klein have, dude? Like, I keep reading about this. I'm like, huh? Like, what the fuck? In other news, guys, Kai Sanat actually started Streamer University and recently showed his master setup for monitoring all the students at Streamer University. Take a look at this. Dude, look at that setup. That is crazy. I'll be honest, I haven't really seen a lot about Streamer University. I kind of looked into it this morning, but yeah, that's pretty wild. Yeah, holy setup, bro. Yeah, holy setup. I've seen some clips here and there, but nothing like super major, but I'll definitely update you guys if I see anything else. But yeah, that's kind of it for high stuff right now. Other news as well, guys. You might remember the Japanese man who killed streamer Ari Sato. We talked about this actually when it happened. It's been a while. If you don't remember, this particular person actually ended up stabbing this poor woman. A dispute over money. He had lent her, so lended her money. She didn't pay it back. It became this big thing. He was stalking her. It was a very, very sad story. Very, very sad story, and a huge warning for just parasocialism in general. But that guy got actually sentenced to 16 years in prison. It's a very, very big story when we covered it as well. Very, very sad. Very, very sad. A huge warning again on parasocialism. So, I feel like 16 years is not enough for killing somebody, but that is what happened, guys. So I'm just giving you the news. Now, I'm going to talk about this really quick, chat, and I know it's probably going to anger you, but I want to make sure that you understand there's no clip. I look for a clip, there's not a clip. But Extra Emily was actually pulled over recently, allegedly. Again, I couldn't find a clip. And she was giving a warning for driving when it expired registration for 2 years. Yes, that's right, chat. The lady that 3 times has already been caught filming herself driving and streaming, almost got into accidents multiple times, texting and driving, has also been driving around with expired registration for 2 years. Like, bruh. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that, you know, I'm on top of my car registration because, I mean, my registration's out on my car currently and I need to get that updated, but for 2 fucking years, that's actually crazy. And also on top of that, all of her other, like, issues and stuff that she's done, holy shit, dude, come on. So she has apparently now hired a driver for a stream, following 3 Twitch bans for distracted driving. So, I mean, to be fair, we never drive my car. Yeah, to be fair, we never drive my car, you know? Absolutely nuts, guys. Absolutely nuts. I'm glad she got a driver, but I feel like we're way too far down the line now where you've already had these 3 times shown on stream. You know, texting and driving, distracted driving, and then now this expired registration. It's just whipped cream and, you know, cherry on top. Absolutely nuts, guys. Absolutely nuts. Oh, I drive all the time. What are you talking about? I mean, my license is fine. It's just the registration on my car is out, but we never use my car anyways, so you know what I mean? In other news, guys, I do want to talk about what's going on with Twitch and some other social media, but this was kind of a big point of contention, which I kind of waited to talk about. But Twitch will soon launch a withdrawal from sub option for European Union users who, within 14 days of subscribing, can receive a full refund. This only has to do with individual subscriptions, not gifted ones. I waited to report on this for this exact reason because a lot of people were concerned about subathons, things in Europe. It's only for individual subscriptions, guys. I think that this is actually BS. So 14 days of subscribing, you can get a full refund. That's half a month. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy, but nonetheless, there it is. However, guys, unfortunately, there is a bit of a Twitch scam going around right now. You know, Twitch is not issuing any reimbursements. There's a scam that people are trying to do where they say, we found an issue during our routine audit and we're correcting it. Manage reimbursement. So if you see this, guys, definitely avoid it, block it. This is somebody trying to scam you guys. In other news as well, maybe some of y'all have this, I don't know. But they are now testing gifts over on Twitch. So for tier 2 and tier 3 subs, certain channels are able to actually have gifts sent into their chat. There's a 30-second cooldown period per user. I don't think that I've gotten approval for a test on this. I don't think that this has happened for me, but if you guys see it on this channel, let me know. I think that'd be pretty cool. In other news as well, guys, you can actually now clip stuff on Twitch. All you gotta do is say Twitch clip that. And then while you're live, Twitch will automatically create a clip for you. It shows up in your clip manager, ready to review. I think this is fine. I mean, I think again for Twitch, this is very indicative of their overall business, like the way they run their business. So here, I'm gonna draw you a picture actually of how Twitch runs their business. You guys ready? So here is Twitch's main problem, right? It's very big and large. And this is Twitch losing money, not equally enforcing enforcement to their creators, treating VTubers like shit, all the other problems that they have going on. And then you know what Twitch does? They say, ooh, look, shiny. Oh, you can say Twitch clip that. Oh my god, that's so much cooler. Don't look at this. Ignore all these problems. There's no problems over here. Look at our big shiny thing going on. Oh wow, you can say Twitch clip that. That's so cool. You can definitely just focus on that instead. And that's the entirety of Twitch's problem as a whole right there. Yes, this is a cool function, but can we start to fix the main core issues? Like, I would rather work on that rather than you working on a clip functionality. I'm sorry. Also, shout out to Lala. We love Lala. Of course, there is a bit of an issue with this particular thing because TTS can actually pick this up. TTS can trigger these clips. This is going to be very bad if somebody has Twitch clips disabled, boxes themselves, clip goes through, etc. So you can see right here, this is where TTS is abusing the system.
You're supposed to split it into separate sources, and then you feed in one source to Twitch.
Right.
Twitch clip that. We're gonna go so viral now.
Ah, it worked! That's so bad, bro! Oh no! Oh my god, this is so bad!
You're almost gonna have to like separate the audio out so it doesn't like feed through in a certain way. Like, yeah, there it is, chat. So yeah, I saw this coming from a mile away. It's like, oh my god, something to be exploited. Let's go. I also have seen reports, to your point, leader, people talking about how they have been saying it and it doesn't work. I mean, mine just worked. Yeah, actually, both of mine just worked. I can look at my activity feed and tell you it worked. But yeah, for some people, I have seen reports. It's just not working properly. However, chat, I do want to talk about the most egregious error that Twitch has made recently, and that is to do with TwitchCon. Guys, you put the pitchforks down because you're going to want to bring them up immediately. TwitchCon 2026 San Diego will apparently allow children under 13 to attend as an add-on to the adult pass.
You won't. No nuggets.
Twitch, what the fuck are you thinking, dude? What? I did not know that this was a thing, dude. Sunday will apparently be family day at TwitchCon. No, dude. No. Twitch is inherently an adult website, dude. Why would you do that? If this had been a thing for a while, Walk, number one, this is the first I've heard of it. And number two, if this has been a thing for a while, then we need to talk about why it doesn't need to be a thing anymore, because this is actually fucking ridiculous. Guys, Twitch is legitimately an 18-plus platform. On top of that, we have safety issues like stuff going on last year with Emery. Why would you think this is a good idea? Why would you think this is a good idea? According to documentation, all ages are welcome. Ages 13 to 17, adult ticket. Ages 6 to 12, a child ticket. Must be with a parent ages under 5 and free. I was not aware of this. And if I missed it, I apologize because I would have spoken about this much sooner, dude. Much sooner. Yeah, Twitch is not family friendly to begin with. I would be honest, with as many IRL people walking around filming, your kid could easily be filmed as well. There's already a lot of privacy issues with that involved. I think this is just a bad idea. This is just a bad idea all around. I can think of 30,000 reasons why this is just not a good idea. But, yeah, I would not want my kid to be at TwitchCon anyway. So, there it is, guys. Zach bringing that to our attention. And finally, guys, I want to talk about Instagram for just a moment. Right, exactly, Walk. Which I think just in practice is a poor idea, you know? Instagram is actually allowing users or other people to use their public photos for AI. Users can generate AI images using public profiles by tagging accounts in their prompts. Oh boy, guys, I can't wait to have my pictures fed into AI. Yippee! You can actually see how this is done. Right here, guys. Take a look. You can actually opt out with these settings right here. Now, luckily, chat, I will say, this functionality was removed. Yeah, this was removed, thank God. Meta's removing Instagram's latest AI feature following a negative response from users. Yeah, I would say negative is a little light, but I'll play the
Earlier this week, we announced that one way for people to generate images in Meta AI is by mentioning public Instagram accounts that they want to reference. Our intent was to provide a useful creative tool and to give people control over whether their public content could be referenced in this way. We've heard the feedback that this feature missed the mark, so it's no longer available.
But what do you mean it missed the mark? Like, you're letting other people get their pictures modified with, generative AI. How do you miss the mark on that? That's either oh, that's a good idea, or oh, that's a bad idea. And this is definitely just a fucking bad idea. Like, what do you mean you missed the mark? What were you shooting for is the better question. Like, oh my gosh, guys. Wild. Absolutely wild. Yeah, what do we even add to this chat? Like, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. What the fuck? They always say they missed the mark. Yeah, but like, again, my question is, where was the mark to begin with at that point? Like, where were you shooting for? What were you looking to exactly, like, do? I don't get it. I don't get it, guys. Oh, hi, Mark. Yeah, oh, hi, Mark. Literally. Oh, hi, Mark. Like, holy fuck. I hate it here sometimes. I hate it here. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here, of course. And, of course, chatting about all of today's news. I hope you enjoyed it. And I would definitely get a video about the Markiplier situation. I'll definitely be putting that up later on the news channel. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. And, guys, we're actually going to go see Teru. Teru is actually debuting her brand new model. So please give her lots of love. I would really I can't say really anymore. I'm losing. I really appreciate it if you go give Terry some love. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate all of you. Have a good rest of your day. Okay, bye, YouTube. I'll see you tomorrow for tea time, guys. Don't forget the very big tea time lined up. All right. Yeah, the Technolarp stuff is pretty messed up. I agree.